I found it amusing that I'm waiting for Patrick's inevitable holiday season rant, which instead of like you know how they do like the Christmas commercials like in October now, they should just have holiday season drop like in those to signify that the winter holidays are coming early. I mean, shit, it's like in America, it's like fucking President's Day tomorrow. We should just drop every major holiday. It's like holiday season. Easter's coming, holiday season. Drop.
I really had forgot. I mean, we'll get to it when we get to Burrprint 2. But I forgot how annoyed I was with that man as a DJ. Like, just no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
It definitely alternates between like medium temperature holiday season and like siren wailing going off the deep end holiday season. Like, it just depends on what you want. So
I mean, I kind of love the latter because it's like it's like this endless overstimulation of your senses. Just you can't concentrate on shit. Everything is just exploding in front of your eyes, and you're like, isn't there a mixtape?
It is very indicative of late 2000s, early 2010s, like mixtapes. That sort of
interrupt your mixtape for a brief Michael Bay movie.
Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster. Living off borrowed time, the clock ticks faster.
Just like every couple of seconds.
right.
Or it's actually like if you've ever seen the classic film Highlander, there's one scene that just explodes. They don't finish the scene, it just fucking explode wipes into the next scene. Like there's no dialogue, there's no conclusion to it. It just blows up and wipes the next scene. And that happens like boom, yeah, every couple of tracks in a holiday season mixtape. Holiday season, spider scratch, and then the track is over or we start.
So. Someone should do the holiday season drop, and then like instead of the scratching to lead into the next Gucci hook, it should be a scratch freeze frame. You probably wondered how I got here, like. Sort of. you to lead off that, you probably wondered how I started listening to EA Sports Center by Gucci Will Chamberlain.
Hey, EA Sports Center. That's a good
one. Yeah, we had to.
That's a good mixtape, bro.
Wilt Chamberlain 7. You probably wondered how I ended up in this situation.
Man, but
all right.
But if you're wondering how we ended up in this situation here on the Living Off Borrowed Time podcast, it is because there was only one. We've wanted to get to this for a while. We wanted to get to one of our favorite artists, Gucci Mane, to talk about his discography. But the problem is that who would possibly have listened to it? Like when we do these episodes, we try and find an expert on it. Like we found literally the only Makami expert that exists for the Makami episode. And, we try and find some, but who on earth would listen to every Gucci Mane album? Like who has the time, the patience to listen to all these mixtapes, all this, a lot of good stuff, a lot of garbage. Could only be somebody who was seemingly suffering, but then still standing, and now is just what are you doing now? You're silent. You're silently weeping, or
silently sobbing, basically. Yeah.
Somebody by the name of SophiaPhantom. You may know her on RYM as Hurricanslash, and she has listened to and reviewed in detail every single Radric Davis Gucci Mane mixtape album and released, and we're going to discuss them all, not at length necessarily, but we're going to cover them all over the course of the next 2 episodes, which you may not hear sequentially because we're going to give you, the listener, a breather in between them. But yeah, we're going to cover as much as humanly possible, as reasonable, and maybe point you in the direction of some you might not know about, some that Gucci himself probably doesn't remember recording. I'd say the majority, actually. At the very least, part 1. So I think part 2, like, well, we're going to cover his whole, like, you know, career arc, like, narrative, and definitely part 2, the way we pick it up, he's more lucid. I think a lot more care goes into it. I don't know if it's as fun necessarily. I think some of the fun goes out of his career in the second half, but we'll get to it when we get to it. But I mean, obviously the logical starting point would be either Traphouse or Chicken Talk, but there was one release I wanted to cover because we're a fan of this is going to be even worse than I said. We're a fan of Hitler with all those West Side tapes.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I know. That's a sensitive topic for you. I know, obviously, but we're also a fan of baby pictures on this show. There is a baby picture of Gucci that floats around there. It came out in 2010, I believe. What was the title?
Originally in 2001.
Yeah, but it's originally from 2001. And we want to touch on that real quick. The Gucci Mane LaFleur tape, I believe. What the fuck? It has 2 names, so I want to make sure I'm accurate on that.
I mean, I know I have it open already. It's the original release was just called LaFleur, and the re-release was called Straight Drop Presents Gucci Mane LaFleur. So, but yeah,
I thought this was fun. I honestly thought this was, yeah, like, this is maybe not, I think he's pretty fully formed on here, and I honestly enjoy this more than the majority of Traphouse. I think that Muscles in My Hand is fucking awesome. Like, that song is great. Like, and you can tell from the RYM rating, it's bolded and nothing else is even close.
Yeah, that's the one that he opens with, "Bitch, I'm Gucci Mane. I'm the drug selling Mane."
Yeah, Buchum, I forgot. I can't even approximate the bouncy hook on it, but it's like, it's very, very playful, which is like the last thing you would expect to hear from Gucci. But you'll hear a lot.
Yeah,
in his career, it's like he gets so much. Like, he's so silly. He is like the silliest, like, thug rapper of all time. I think you can make a good argument for that. And this beat is very much like a proto, like Zalooper's Bash Bandicoot type beat almost. Like, I don't know I don't even know if it is sampling Crash Bandicoot or something, but it's like that sort of like tropical video game, like Kirby music almost. And he's rapping about how he cooks so much dope, he's got muscles in his hand. And it's fucking hilarious. Nothing on here is quite at like on that level, but I think that his goofy humor is all over it.
I mean, there's one thing that comes close to that level of dumb, and that's just all the garbage R&B hooks that were just slapped on here.
And that is something that would follow him throughout his career.
Yeah.
Like, he could never resist. And there's a guy that we're going to get to, Mr. Verse Simmons, who I think owes his entire livelihood to Gucci's inability to resist the garbage R&B hook.
Holy shit, yeah, Verse Simmons gotta have the best fucking weed ever for Gucci to keep him around for so long.
Yeah, like, I think MED and Dom Kennedy have to be an envy of Verse Simmons, like, you know, fucking high potency herb. Because that's the level of fucking bud that this dude has to be holding for Gucci to have just kept him on the payroll for this long. Because he's still got features. And, like, at this point, like, everyone has a band, like, you know, moved on or gotten better careers. You can still guarantee it on every other Gucci album, on like that final third, Verse Simmons is going to show up and croon your ass to sleep. So, but let's talk about some of the great features real quick on this Straight Drop Presents Gucci Mane LaFleur. We've got Peter Man, which I believe is a pun on Peter Pan, which is like as thug as it gets. Fruity, which is almost as thug. Shout outs to Fruity. I wonder if he hangs out with Gravy. Miss Angel, G-Dead. None of these people have RYM pages, by the way.
You can't even find them on Google.
And shout outs to Riverdale. We got Jughead on here too.
Oh Jesus!
Oh God!
On a song with the amazing title "Before We Bite." So before Jughead bites you, just don't listen to this. I don't know.
You think Gucci like watched the new Riverdale and was like,
probably, yeah.
This is it. This is my shit right here.
I mean,
I can
Sorry
imagine
for
his
that.
wife. I can imagine his wife being like, "Gucci, we gotta watch the new season of Riverdale," and he's like, "Only for you, babe."
That's
I don't know.
That's
Like-
the TV show they can't miss every week. That's what it is.
I don't know if Gucci's maybe more of a Sabrina the Teenage Witch fan. Actually, that's more of a Cardi thing because that's a Bam
Yeah.
thing. But I'm wondering, rappers love their acronyms, and Gucci later in his career will definitely give us some acronyms. I'm wondering, I only listened to this once, and for the most part in the background, I only listened to Muscles in My Hand repeatedly. Everything else got like one listen. Does he actually do the whole acronym on Gucci Mane? Because that seems like a really hard acronym to like fill out the letters on.
As far as I remember, he doesn't.
Yeah, no, he just thought, that was just for show.
That just looked cool.
Yeah, and ultimately, I don't know. It's a curiosity, but it's certainly not the worst of like the rapper Baby Picture albums you could find. Like, I think there's a reason they re-released it. And it's probably because literally every Gucci piece of music has to be put on market, and so this was going to make it too. So I think he just woke up one day, or somebody woke up and realized this did not get a proper release. And if you're going to release some of like Wilt Chamberlain 7, you might as well release the very first. This was intended to be his first studio album. Again, we'll cover this in part 2. We'll cover his autobiography, which I downloaded. Sorry, Gucci, I did not pay for your autobiography. As best I can tell from your music, you have a lot of money, so you don't need my help. But I'd be curious as to the circumstances that led to this not being his debut album. Do you have any enlightenment? Do you have any sort of insight on that, Sophia?
I don't, but to be honest, if I would guess, it's probably Big Cat saying no.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was hooked up with Big Cat at this point.
It wouldn't be long. It wouldn't be long until then, and then it just probably floated along somewhere, and they just looked at it and were like, nah. Yeah,
in terms of like early rap albums, it's not like some sort of lost, like almost classic, like Clip's original audio footage type level, but it's also not like those Freddie Gibbs mixtapes where he's like 17 years old and just really likes Dipset. Which those are cool in their own way. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to our Baby Pictures episode. We cover that. But it's like those are like there are certain rap albums where it's just like somebody's feeling out their style. I think Gucci's style is already here. Like I think he's already figured it out. Like
yeah.
And that's one thing that I want to early misconception I want to clear up is that, and this was something that he got a lot more shit for early in his career when I think there was still like this anti-Southern rap bias, is that he had no skill and that he couldn't rap. That is so far from the truth.
He just rapped differently than what these people wanted. Like he was always more of a like I wouldn't say joke rapper, but like every second and third line either had to be like a hilarious joke that everyone could laugh along with, or be something a little bit more personal, or be something for the street. And yeah, he did that like to perfection.
Yeah, he's just like got that silly sense of humor, and it's like one of the comparison. Like I always make this comparison about rappers is because I think it's the easiest reference point for a lot of people, and possibly just because I grew up as a teenager listening to him as like one of my first favorite rappers, at least in the mainstream type rappers, is Ludacris. And I didn't really think about this until listening to Burrprint 2 yesterday, as because Atlanta Zoo's on there. That's the best song on there, and it's a great song. But I think it's just like that goofy Southern sense of humor where it's like you're relaying a lot of street shit, but you kind of make it entertaining through this goofy sense of humor. And Gucci expresses it a lot through like word choice and just the, like you said, like, you're going to say some grisly street stuff, but then you're going to make some goofy ass joke right next to it, which lets you which kind of diffuses it unless you know not to take it all. He doesn't take it too seriously. And yeah, so I think that's there. Like the beats certainly aren't there yet. They're very budget 2001. If this is Big Cat, as we will soon see, technically breaking open the bank account. Like he's got a very Birdman-esque stinginess to himself in terms of what he'll pay for.
Technically speaking, this is still like a label called Straight Drop, and I don't know that you won't even find them when you Google them. So like, it's no wonder that this shit is budget as hell. Like,
Yeah, it's just we're covering it for posterity. Muscles in My Hand, though. If you're even at all a little bit of a fan of Gucci, check that one out. The rest of it, you could probably go the rest of your life without hearing and not move the needle one way or another. But it's certainly not. I wouldn't say it's bad. Like I think I have it at like 5 or 6. Like it's that type of thing. Like middle of the road, interesting curiosity type thing. So Gucci be on ice for a minute. I'm gonna mostly hand this one over to Sophia. By the way, like I know that we have these experts on, and then I blather. And then it becomes readily apparent that I only listen to half the albums on something, and then I shut up. But so I'm going to hand most of this over to Sophia because as the resident expert, she's listened to more of this than, like I said, Gucci probably has. So we're generally going to let her handle the timeline here. And certain albums will get more attention than others. Like something like Chicken Talk and Traphouse, these early ones, deserve a lot more close consideration than, I don't know, Trapology or... Which, although when we get to Trapology, that cover does deserve close consideration.
There's a lot of his covers that deserve very close consideration.
And there's one album that I know or mixtape that I know you've been very excited to discuss, where both the cover and the mixtape deserve very close consideration.
Yeah.
Boom boom pow. But anyway, so the actual debut, Traphouse. I listened to this back when I was initially getting into it. When I finally realized I liked Gucci, I started doing the discography thing and wasn't too fond of it then. Revisited it yesterday because I knew this was like the proper one that we'd give a little bit of time to. Still not that fond of it now. It does have some heat on it. I will say that Icy and Black Tea, very, very good songs of their time, but very good songs. What I mainly got out of this, and this is very funny considering what will happen soon afterwards and things he'll say on the very next album. Dude sounds a lot like Young Jeezy.
Yeah.
Cadence.
Yep.
And he would never say, this is the only time I think in his career you can safely say that Gucci sound like is reminiscent of or even actively trying to imitate other rappers when it's not like a direct parody. Because he'll do that sometimes. But this seems like he's, I don't want to say style biting, but Jeezy was clearly like the hottest Southern act, and it almost feels like either Gucci's like trying to, or somebody, Big Cat, is telling him it'd be in his best interest to maybe follow in those footsteps and make his own Thug Motivation 101.
Yeah.
And these beats suck.
Yeah, that was my big takeaway. Like, I mean, I had heard it years ago, and I come back, and because the songs that are good are easy to remember, but the songs that aren't good are not good for a reason and not memorable. And that's like not a quality that I usually find in like the good, Gucci music, of which there is many. But yeah, I mean, it's like, oh yeah, remember Icy, Black Tea, like you said, Patrick. I also think the one with Cujo Goody is pretty good. The one after that.
Lawnmower Man's fun. I thought Lawnmower Man was fun, although it kind of runs out of like,
it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be like 5 minutes long.
But
it doesn't need to be that long.
Yeah, I feel like he runs out of verses on that, but I think the hook on that's classic Gucci about like the way I forget the way he phrases that, but it's like a really funny pun on like being the lawnmower man. And Gucci's worn a lot of hats in his life. He's the ice cream man. He's a lawnmower man. And that's like I think that's like one thing that's like in kind of short supply on this because he's trying to be Jeezy so hard is that his goofy humor. I think that you don't get a lot of that on this, and I think that's kind of why it didn't appeal to me as much, and kind of why you said, Caleb, that it's not as memorable as other stuff.
No, it's like I would have to. I mean, also there's a bunch of random skits on here, but like I would have to reach to say I remembered the majority of this project. Like it's okay, it's not bad, but it's not really. It's you can see it's like it's the prototypical like starting at the beginning. This is a transition into rapping for Gucci. He hasn't found like his presence yet. I don't think it's there in spades, but it's not like his overwhelming like endearing personality. I don't think shines through on a project that's kind of this boring.
One thing I find fascinating though, because like none of you two mentioned that song, the title track, right? Because
that's a pretty decent song. Yeah, and that's track 2, right? Right after the intro, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's like something that we also don't get to see a lot of Gucci doing later in his career, especially when he like built his own myth. And that's like Gucci that wants to negotiate things, because the hook when he says like your money kind of short, but we can work it out, and I'm like, that's not really the kind of sentiment you hear often from Gucci, especially not coming any other project in the future.
Yeah, he's definitely more of a blast you if you're not. If the money's short, you're dying type thing. Like, it's a lot like you come with that Anna to 3-6 Mafia, you know what's going to happen. And
they have lemons.
Yeah, those lemons, you know, ask any of those lemons what happened. You can't, they're dead. But yeah, it's definitely more of a yeah, I agree that it's a different side to his personality, I think, overall. But like the exaggerated aggression is a little less I'm trying to find the right words for it, but yeah, I hadn't thought about that. You're right.
Yeah, and also I also want to mention Pyrex Pod, because that's one of his very first I'm literally standing in the kitchen right now whipping up the crack songs. That's a whole subgenre of Gucci songs, and that's basically the first one. And I gotta mention that shit.
Yeah, that's a subgenre, and he likes to talk to you about like what he's wearing when he's in the kitchen, like when he's counting money, like he's counting $1 million in his long johns at some point. Like he's cooking dope wearing like some sort of glove. Like he's like it's the same way Jadakiss always wants to tell you the color of his car is like X or Y. Like rappers always have like little ticks like that, and that's another thing that Gucci has. When you put out so many projects, like those things come out. You have to be able to fill the time somehow. And Gucci's not like Viper, where it's like he's not like filling shit with the same shit. He's not recycling. Like you can speak to this better than I can, but I don't think he really like on his real projects at least is actively just wholesale recycling shit. Like he might take lines sometimes or maybe even a song, but he's not like taking whole chunks and just reselling it over and over.
Right.
He never does that. And that's something I very much admire him for, because like given how much shit he puts out, it would be so easy for him to do that, but he never does. And that's kind of insane.
Well, one album he did, though, was the next studio album after this. He borrowed some stuff from the next mixtape, which was Chicken Talk. But you can't blame him, though, because Chicken Talk is so good.
Yeah. Holy shit. Chicken Talk is, I think it's also currently, like, if we're talking about RYM, it's the only full project bolded by Gucci. And
that's fucked up.
It is
whack.
That is whack.
I mean, at the very least, fucking everybody looking should be like. I mean, I can understand that RYM has his biases and stuff, but I think that there are at least 2 projects of his that deserve bolded, like hate to do this, objectively, like black, like influential and high quality, like craftsmanship type thing. I think there are at least 2 Gucci projects that I think stand to that bar. I think this one and Everybody Looking. I mean, there are other ones I'm going to say I think are bolded just because they're high quality, like, you know, great track after great track, like Mr. Zone 6 type thing. But right. I think those are the 2 where it's just like, you can't listen to this and even put aside your fucking biases. The level of work that went into it and the level of quality from instrumentals to rapping. Come on, man. Like, this is so fucking good.
Yeah, Chicken Talk is fucking amazing. Like, and the thing is, this is a 2-disc mixtape, and it's not boring for a single second.
No.
And
it actually just like gets just better as it goes along. Like this is one of the best rap albums of the 2000s, no question. To me, I fucking love this record. I'm gonna Patrick, you had a great review back a few years ago.
I did. I actually made this, I believe, my 2500th review because I felt so strong. I felt like this was worthy of that. I mean, I don't know if that's really like a super milestone, like 3,000.
3,000. Yeah.
And I think there's nothing bad on here. You get every side of Gucci. You get like the absurd stuff. You get the tough stuff. He disses Big Cat on a track, very cleverly titled "Dissing Big Cat" as a parenthetical, just in case you're worried about.
Just in case you didn't get the metaphor.
This is also already technically speaking where Gucci already parted ways with Big Cat.
Yeah, that Dissin' Big Cat song is like Gucci doing a drill tweet, or it's like you know the drill tweet where it's like attempting metaphor, and he's like, "Oh man, I got a shit so bad. I got shit coming out of my ass." It's like that's that song. He's just like, "Here's what I'm gonna say, and if you didn't get it, I'm gonna put it in the title."
And it's also like, there's another diss track on here that's like absolutely goddamn motherfucking amazing, and that's 745, which is like his first direct diss track, I believe, towards Young Jeezy. And I think
last though, because there'd be another one.
Yeah, but it's so fascinating because like he starts the song and he's like, nah, you know what? Actually, I don't want to talk about this shit. I got other shit in my life that's weighing on me. And then like in the middle of the second verse, he's like, you know what? Matter of fact, fuck you.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about Gucci's flow is when he stops like mid thought and changes changes direction like that. Like the not like he just has such a. He doesn't have like a liquid flow in like a rapidy rap sort of way, but it's like more of a like, you know, Optimal loves to talk about the conversational flow. And I think Gucci's one of the best conversational rappers. And that's like more of a unique Southern quality, I think. I think a lot of like Northeast rappers come from that Rakim Nas school. I'm going to impress you with how hard and serious I am. And a lot of like, not just like storytelling way of being conversational, but just of like flowing and being conversational. And like Bun has that. Luda has that, and I think Jeezy has that in fucking spades. And that comes across in his flow when he's able to just like come up with a thought and stop mid-thought. Like, you know what, fuck you. You know, I'm just gonna throw it like that. Also, just real quick, just poking around on RYM. Burn One's, I was looking at Burn One's page because Burn One's a big part of why this is amazing. Yeah. Unlike some DJs Gucci will work with in the future, Burn One adds a lot to this project. He, I don't know how many beats he really has on here. He's the host. A lot of the beats are Zaytoven. You get some Juicy on here. You get I don't know. I don't think Drummer Boy's on here actually. I think that would be I think Drummer Boy is pretty closely affiliated with Jeezy at this point, so he probably wouldn't have been. But yeah, Burn One's the host, and Burn One's The Ashtray, which is one of the best instrumental albums I've ever heard. Shout out to Southern Hospitality blog, one of the best blogs from back in the day. I don't know if they're still active or not. Put this one out. It has a 2.6. Fuck that. Let's get a 4.5 right now. Some of the best radio on this show is when I just realize something hasn't been rated and I rate it on the air. I'm sure that's really compelling. just to go at the people who rated it too low. That's the most important thing. Shout out to the reviewer of record, the equivalent of Soylent, has not rated on Chicken Talk, so I don't know what he thinks. I'm sure he gave it a 7. But I didn't get to hear, scorching takes on this song is about selling. On the next song, Gucci talks about selling drugs. On Dissin' Big Cat, Gucci disses Big Cat. I did not
over a bang beat.
Over rattling hi-hats.
over really convincing snares.
And if you're playing Borrowed Time Bingo, that was the obligatory legend section. So,
thank you.
Yeah. But we were talking about how this mixtape like spawned a couple of songs that he would that I don't think he would, but like the people who worked with him would recycle endlessly. Which are
My Chain for sure. One of the
My Chain, Stupid.
Yeah,
Stupid was on a lot of projects. Kermit the Frog.
Yeah,
which was renamed. For every other appearance to hold that thought.
Well, probably
to avoid a copyright strike.
Yeah, they didn't want Jim Henson's estate coming for them. I think that what was I going to say about what the fuck about here? One of the things about this is that I think it's funny that he had all this beef with Jeezy, puts Yo Gotti on 2 tracks. And I think it's, just like it's contractually obligated later in his career to put Verse Simmons on everything. I think that, Southern, eventually across all regions, you just had to put Yo Gotti on your album. It's like a union requirement. But that's specifically funny to me that he would put the like world's foremost Young Jeezy impersonator on 2 tracks. And I actually like those tracks, which is weird because I normally can't at best, Yo Gotti is 0 value to me. At worst, he actively detracts. And I don't mind, like, he's fine. Like, they're not high points or anything, but honestly, none of the features are really high points. Like, I could be fine with just hearing nothing but Gucci throughout the whole nearly 2 hours. Over 2 hours. No, not over. Over 90 minutes. Yeah, it's like, it's the length of a film. And there are a few albums that are few mixtapes that are links of a film that I think deserve to be, but this one does. Like, I wouldn't cut anything.
Yeah, I think even the ones that aren't like necessarily as strong are kind of funny in what they like predict. There's one song I'm forgetting it's in the back half, but it's about like it kind of has a feel where it's like not like reggaeton, but like kind of similar. Where he's like, yeah, shit.
Fuck, I forget. Is it not Rain Man? Not Rain Man, is it?
No.
Do you mean? By the way, Rain Man significantly superior to the friend of the show Eminem song Rain Man.
Do you mean Plaque Talk?
Yes.
Yeah. He was he was way in the future with that.
Yeah, I feel like 2 years ago, 6ix9ine just tried to do that same song. I don't know what, like, Gucci was way ahead of the wave.
We're not going to hold him responsible for 6ix9ine. That was one of the few recent artists that I'm sure maybe he probably did try to put him on at some point, but I don't think that one of the few bigger artists that did not come up through Gucci as an A&R. 740. Holy shit! Looking at my own review to remind myself, 745 is a Gucci and Paul a Juicy and Paul beat, the 3/6 beat.
Yeah, it is.
And my thought that I lost before was that "Stupid" is, I believe, the first Gucci track where it's just a single word title, which is another micro genre of Gucci music, like weirdo, normal. Yeah. So yeah, this is great. If you haven't listened to this, you can't listen to the podcast. It goes without saying.
And if you haven't listened to Swing My Door, which is the most insane bass drop on the entire mixtape, do yourself the favor and don't listen to the bass boosted version first, except if you want your audio equipment to die.
Is that like so there's two different versions of it?
There are some bass
because people do those. So
no, there are on some of his remix mixtapes that I have never really touched because there are some bass boosted versions of Swing My Door, and don't do your equipment the favor and don't do it. Jesus Christ.
I got worried for a second. I think I heard this on I probably heard this off like DatPiff for the first time. It wasn't like streaming. The years ago, like when I had seen this was one of the big Gucci projects. I think I probably heard it on like a DatPiff type thing, or YouTube or something like that before it was.
Or hot new hip hop.
Yeah, like before it was like widely available. So it is kind of quaint to think about, just because now I think about all of the Gucci projects that I've heard like through the DatPiff mobile app in my phone, like when I was in high school. So kind of funny how like all of the different DJs that are on Gucci tapes are burned into my brain, because some of them were also on a lot of other mixtapes that you could just go onto like the front page of DatPiff and click and listen to. So
I think the funniest thing about those DatPiff pages is when you get all the knockoff chopped and screwed DJs, because really there are only two chopped and screwed DJs that matter: DJ Lil Steve, obviously, and Slim K. So, but beyond that, like there are all these like DJ Buttle Love, who did Danny Brown's Triple X. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, who the fuck's DJ Buttle Love? And like, yeah, it's just like clearly it's just some kid. Like, I don't even know if it's just some kid in the like now it's always just some kid with a laptop. But back in the day, these were probably like legit regional DJs, and they only ever do like one or two like slowed and screwed. Like they don't, like sometimes they would show respect and not call it screwed. Other times they would just say chopped and screwed, so you'd be fooled into thinking it was like a screw tape. If they said chopped not slopped, it would get pulled pretty quickly, because I think they were afraid OG Ron C would kill them, because he probably would. But I always thought that was fun when you go through the chopped, because I was you know me, I'm always trying to find the instrumental version. I'm always trying to find the chopped and screwed version. Surprisingly few chopped and screwed versions of Gucci tapes that I could find. Oddly enough, Traphouse has one that's on Spotify. Gucci's Spotify page is weird, man.
Yeah, it's like it's like 2 miles long.
With some duplicates, and they're not even they're like Gas Molly Lean gets repeated like 2/3 of the way twice. There's a chopped and screwed version of Traphouse. It's weird. But yeah, so in the interest of not getting hung up on one tape when we have 155 to go, we'll move on. As good as Chicken Talk is, Hard to Kill's next, Sophia, or are there any mixtapes that we are?
No. Hard to Kill is the next one, and it was released by Big Cat.
And once again, the beats are not great. A little better, not great.
Except the ones from Chicken Talk,
which are awesome. But yeah, we recycle My Chain from Chicken Talk. We recycle a few other tracks from Chicken Talk. I think that the features on here, with the exception of La Chat, obviously, and Gangsta Boo, like, I wasn't aware really that Gucci had all these 3-6 connections. Now that I'm thinking about it,
yeah, from the get-go,
right? Yeah, I wasn't really making that connection, but he was ahead of the curve yet again. We got a track on here called Blow Pop. So he was 2 years ahead of the super clever comparing getting your dick sucked to sucking on a lollipop, which would pay off a lot better for Lil Wayne.
Also shout out Young Sneed, just for being called Young Sneed.
Young Sneed, yeah.
Young Sneed, who sounds like Great Value Styles P.
But there's one song, actually two new songs on Hard to Kill that would later become like early Gucci period classics, and that's Freaky Girl and Pills.
Pills is great.
Pills
I
is
love
great.
Pills. Pills is my favorite song on here that's actually an original song.
Yeah.
I think Pills is a lot of fun. I think his verse on it's great. I think Mac Breezy's like totally fine for a early period. Big Cat paid nothing to get me on this album type feature. That's my favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite actual original on here. And I think for like the Gucci songs for the ladies that aren't really like, they could be a lot worse. Like they certainly would be in the future. I give it a 7 because I was drunk when I listened to it yesterday. It's probably more of a 6. But I was a little more entertained by this than Traphouse, which for something that started such a big series, I thought was a little inauspicious because of the compromises it made. Whereas this one I think is a little more fun, a little more representative of his personality, but still not great. Like the best moments are pretty much taken wholesale from Chicken Talk, except for Pills.
And Freaky Girl. I will never let anyone say something bad about Freaky Girl.
Well, Freaky Girl is just like one of those brazen ass, full on bites from an old song that would make your parents mad. It's like, this isn't rap music. They just steal from old music. But it's so brazen, I have to like it.
It's like, it also has some of his, like, for all the lyrical ability nerds out there, it also has some of his best rhymes from that era, which is funny given that he put that on a song called Freaky Girl. Like, that's just Gucci for you. That's just dude.
There's a lot of sucking up to Big Cat on this album that I don't like.
Yeah, which
he himself Gunpoint. Like there's a track named after Big Cat. He has a lot of little bars where he's just like, shout out to Big Cat. Big Cat put me on. We doing this independent. Like you don't have the skits that you had on Traphouse, where it's just like talking about how awesome Big Cat is and shit, or Big Cat talking about how awesome Big Cat is. But I could still do without it, especially the guy's robbing him. Like with the benefit of hindsight, although pretty plain as day. It's just a shitty fucking label head. But yeah, that leaves a sour taste. And it's too long. It's over an hour. Doesn't need to be over an hour.
No, absolutely not. But outside of Chicken Talk, most of his projects don't need to be that long. So,
yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the thing about Gucci is we're gonna say a lot of positive things about him. One is that we're not gonna say is that he's a good editor.
He has a bit of he has that George Clinton vibe to him, where he just cannot bring himself to delete anything.
Stop.
I don't think the Gucci George Clinton comparison has ever been made before. So that's
because it's like
that.
Both of these guys are just not capable of saying I should leave this song out of the project.
Don't you wish that Gucci was on all those rap tracks on those recent George Clinton albums that you had to review?
No, Patrick, no.
What? You don't want to remember those great George Clinton rap verses on the recent album?
Patrick.
What? You don't want to talk about Radric Fraud Dog?
Hey, that was the better one, okay? That was the better one. Like, shit.
I think I just PTSD triggered Sophia.
Like, First You Gotta Shake the Gate is like one of the albums that made me the most angry, like in the last few years.
That got Sophia's lowest rating, 2.5 stars.
Yeah, that's one of my lowest ratings. Yeah.
I can't believe you sat through all 3 hours of that. That is like, thank you for your service, I guess, but I can't imagine doing that. Yeah, this is. I don't know if we need to spend too much time on this. It's better than the first one, but I think Traphouse has more historical curiosity to it. And really, you only need to hear Freaky Girl and Pills because the other good stuff's on Chicken Talk. And if you stream this, Big Cat probably gets money. So don't stream this. Sorry.
Okay. And now it's time for the first real quick, Sophia fast forward montage. Because before we get to Traphathon? Yeah, Traphathon. There's like 3 tapes that no one listened to, except me. Except, did you listen to Ice Attack 1 and 2?
Well, you'll be surprised to hear I did not.
Ice Attack 1 and 2 are actually quite interesting, like on paper, because those are one of the very few just Gucci on just Zaytoven beats tapes.
If I knew that, I would have listened to it.
But they are actually not that not that great to listen to because, like, again, like, just put every single song on there. Ice Attack, half of Ice Attack is basically just Chicken Talk again. And
Freaky Girl on there. You got Work Your Wrist. Well, Freaky Girl's from obviously not from that, but you got Work Your Wrist on there. You got Stupid.
Yeah. But I do want to shout out Ice Attack 2 because it has It's My Party, which is...
Wait, does he really flip that song? Does he flip?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I need to hear that. That sounds great.
But like, not in the beat. Just Gucci does it. It's just... Jesus Christ, that song is like... That's premium.
Big Cat disses on here with the Big Broke record. Sounds like another subtlety goes out the window type. I think he's implying that Big Cat might in fact be broke.
But he, in fact, is hood rich. Featuring OJ the Juice Man, which is also one of his first collabs with my fave high voiced trap rapper. It's great. It's a good tape. It's not amazing, but.
Iced Out Bart, he shouts out his chain. Gucci was one of those rappers who was a meme before. We talked about rappers being memes because he had his face tats and whatever. But I think even before the face tats, he had the Iced Out Bart Simpson chain, and we got a track on here, Iced Out Bart. Gucci the Eskimo, which I can only assume is a cover of Bob Dylan Fish standard Quinn the Eskimo.
Gucci the Eskimo is one of his earliest like full on bizarro Gucci songs.
He's really in love with that ice metaphor, man. He really just stuck with that. Like, he just never... I mean, if Wyatt remembers to get the title right, like he didn't for some episodes that we won't talk about, this is actually supposed to be FeBRR-uary. The second one probably won't make it to make the pun make sense, but at the very least, this one should. So, but yeah, Gucci really stuck with the ice pun. So shout out to Gucci the Eskimo.
And then there's a tape that no one listened to and no one should. It's called Bird Flu. It's just chicken talk again. It's just fucking chicken talk again with a bit of Hard to Kill and there's like 4 or 5 Lucy's thrown in there. And the only thing that's kind of funny about it is the first song, which is a diss towards T.I. called What Kind of King I Smell Pussy.
Yeah, aside from Jeezy and eventually Waka, T.I. would be one of his favorite targets. We get to eventually Birds of a Feather, which was one of the meaner diss songs. Not the meanest, but one of his meaner diss songs.
Which is funny because the next song is an apology on live radio.
Gucci's a man of many contradictions. Well, if you want to talk about predicting stuff, if nothing else, bird flu, you can extrapolate that to avian flu, then swine flu, then Gucci kind of predicted COVID. So you got that going for him.
That's very smart of you, Patrick.
I'm just trying to, find what I can out of the ones that there's nothing else to talk about. So No Pad, No Pencil I did listen to, but I think that's after Traphathon.
Yeah, that's after Traphathon. Trapathon is the first Gucci album I don't want to listen to because I really know who the money goes to. Did you listen to it, Pat?
No, this is the one where I unfortunately ran out of time, and honestly, reading your review, and also your review is actually good, so it was positive, but yeah, we got Big Cat's home skit. This is on Big Cat Records. We're remixing Freaky Girl. We got some Young Sneed, Black Magic. Yeah, there's no real Big Cat intro. It's pretty. We're rehashing pills. Like, it's pretty craven.
Yeah, but there's like one thing about this album that makes it worth mentioning, and that is the skits, actually. Because the skits on here are Marlon Rowe, aka Big Cat, and Melvin Breeden, aka Melman. Yes, for everyone listening, the guy that worked on 2001 by Dr. Dre, just constantly being like, we're making so much bank off of Gucci, even when he doesn't even work with us anymore. And it's the most disrespectful shit imaginable. Like,
I was personally very disappointed in the Super Bowl performance that we didn't get the Melman and Hitman cameos instead of 50 Cent. I think that's what everybody really wanted out of that Dre.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I did not get to this one. But it seems like Two Screws Loose is something that sounds like I feel like Gucci's always been very open about. That's another reason I really look forward to reading his autobiography and talking about it in the next episode. Is I feel like he's always kind of discussed being, like, at the very least a little off, like, and like kind of have, like, that was something that people said jokingly, then more seriously over the course of his career, is that he's mentally ill and dealt with mental illness issues at the very least. And I think that's something that, especially in his genre, in his region, was never really brought up. I think he might have been one of the first mainstreamish rappers to. I mean, Zero talked about depression, but that was, not his region. But you know what I mean. So I might get Two Screws Loose at least. I might get that off Soulseek, so Big Cat doesn't get a dime. But beyond that, yeah, I did not listen to this, and I'm probably not going to listen to it in full. I'm not going to lie.
But you listened to No Pad, No Pencil.
Some of it, because I wanted to hear Gucci freestyle.
It's good.
Yeah, I was impressed. Like, it was more that, I thought just that you get it so rarely, because clearly Gucci is somebody who writes in a certain cadence, a certain pattern. So I just wanted to hear what him going off top was, and it's rambling, but it's endearing.
Absolutely. But I gotta also say about this tape, I cannot stand Jay Quick.
No.
He's one of the most annoying DJs he ever worked with. Like,
yeah, that's why I stopped listening to it, actually. And then I was like, I'm going to listen to Burrprint too instead, because I'm sick of this annoying DJ. And the joke writes itself. But yeah, this is not essential Gucci, but
it has my kitchen.
I'm already going to apologize to Wyatt, because Wyatt's least favorite thing about doing this podcast, our producer, Kittenpuke, super producer, is that he has to keep changing the image for whatever album we're talking about.
Yeah, I think he's just going to...
Least favorite episode ever.
He's going to resort to just, like, the stock image that he usually uses for...
I'll just put up the Kanye time image, because that's...
It's just going to be Gucci time. It's just...
Don't talk about Gucci time. We do not talk about Gucci.
It's
time.
Gucci
we'll talk
time.
about it when it's time to talk about Gucci time. I've got a pre-prepared rant about Gucci time.
But one thing though about No Pad, No Pencil, I think it's the only tape that has the full version of My Kitchen on it, which is one of his most legendary early songs, and it's on this tape. Just amazing.
Of all tapes, that implies that My Kitchen was one take, because No Pad, No Pencil is supposedly all freestyle, and the way he delivers stuff, I believe it. Like, the way he delivers a lot of these verses, most of them that I heard at least, is very much just feels off the dome. Like, I believe that it was, in fact, No Pad, No Pencil. Like, because he's not like Jay-Z. Like, I don't believe that he's like Jay-Z. I feel like sometimes he might go into the booth with a concept and just go off the top. But I don't think he's like Wayne, where he goes in and can like spiel off the top of his head forever. Like, I don't think you're ever gonna get like something like Dedication 2 or Dedication 6, where he just goes in and hears a beat and can go for like 5 minutes, like free form. Like, I think Gucci has to write some stuff out. Like, he has to have a reference point. And I feel like this is the one tape, at least, where he's, freestyling, essentially. Like, and that can be a little trying. Like, I would not recommend this for anybody's first Gucci tape, obviously. I think you have to kind of be a fairly big fan to appreciate what he's doing here. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. From what I heard of it. I didn't hear the whole thing, but I enjoyed it. The DJ sucks. The DJ is really fucking annoying.
And you will be glad to hear that he hosted like 6 other Gucci tapes.
I won't listen to any of them.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Jay Quick, like for some godforsaken reason, if you are listening to this, Jay, nothing against you.
Well, you can't listen to this because Jay Quick can't listen to the podcast. But turn it off if you're listening to this. No, wait, you can listen to what Sophia has to say to you, then you have to turn the podcast off. But Sophia, go ahead.
I respect that you worked with Gucci for as long as you did, but less is more when it comes to hosting Gucci tapes, okay? That's all I want to say.
There's been no artist that has ever not obeyed that cliche more like the Gucci man.
Yeah, and I'm telling this to his goddamn DJ. Jesus.
All right, so No Pad, No Pencil was followed by Guapaholics with Gucci and Shorty Low.
Yeah, don't.
I won't.
No, next.
Okay. Next. Moving on.
Next. Back to the Traphouse.
Sequel to Chicken Talk that I have, but
No. Back to the Traphouse.
Oh
yeah, the album, yeah.
This one I listened to way back in the day and did not listen to again recently enough to have an opinion on or even a rating. But I do remember. Well, there's a Freaky Girl remix with Ludacris and Lil Kim.
And it's amazing.
Okay, that I really wish I listened to again at least. That's awesome. I can't imagine how much name dropping Game did about like Gucci shit on his track either. It's Game and Shauna from that classic Ludacris Battle of the Sexes album.
Yeah. It's a good album. It's a really good album in my opinion. It's this is the first time that Gucci put out an album not under Big Cat and by himself, and it's good. It has some great tracks on there, like 15 Minutes Past the Diamond is amazing. Jump the Line is good. It's for some reason the song with Rich Boy and Pimp C is really fun. And it has one of my personal favorite Gucci songs overall, and it's Bird Flu.
That's a great song, yeah.
Just that beat, that pummeling beat, god damn. That's that loud synth, and Gucci's just rapping on it as if it was some pop instrumental. I love it. God damn, this guy can flow on literally anything.
Yeah, that's a Zaytoven beat, right? From what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that song, and I remember the I Know Why and the Freaky Girl remix being super highlights on this. I do remember thinking that some of the stuff in the back half was kind of like boilerplate, but that's kind of like inevitable with some early Gucci, projects. But it did feel like he was starting to come into his own, and I think the production was a little more diverse than it was on earlier non-Chicken Talk projects.
Well, he has Below to Dawn on here, which I assume is the Rich Boy track, because that was like Rich Boy's house producer. I don't really remember Shorty Red's on here. That's
yeah. And I on the Rich Boy track, I think Hit Boy was on that one too. So it was a little. It was a little different.
Yeah, you're right. Hit Boy. No shit, that's an early ass Hit Boy place.
Yeah, very early.
Again, Gucci ahead of the curve as always. A lot of no-name producers too. We shout outs to Rio, the super producer, B-Bang.
Arizona Slim,
the legend.
The Supersonics.
Yep. They had a great season in '94.
Does Gucci? Gucci never had a song called Sean Kemp, did he? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to us reviewing Gary Payton 1 through
Gary
6.
Yeah, The Glove Volume 2. We need Gucci to have a song where it's like cutting in Gary Payton's monologue from the MJ documentary, where he's talking about like the finals against the Bulls turned when he was guarding Michael Jordan. that was the reason why they won 2 games. Which obviously, like, if you've been on Twitter, it spawned that meme where it's MJ looking at his iPad and laughing. Like that was one of the.
I did not know that was because of Gary Payton.
Yeah, he there's like the full GIF of it is like him laughing, and then like MJ kind of like tilts his head back and cackles, and he kind of like lifts his legs up. He's like laughing so hard.
Oh no, the laughing MJ was actually a cover of one of the Makami dollar menus. Shout out to the God Fahim taking 5 seconds to Google image search when he came up with those covers.
Stock photo.
Also, like, can I say one thing about this cover? Mm-hmm. Gucci, the stove is not supposed to be outside the trap house. I think.
It's no wonder he kept getting arrested.
Is that lighter fluid in also?
Probably.
That's a very dangerous position. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. It's this is a good cover. It's not like A+.
Money to get stolen off that ledge.
Oh, yeah.
I think the window's broken too. You can see in the corner.
Yeah. Really, like a bando with a broken window. I never heard of that.
Oh.
All right, so I think it's about time for another lightning round between this and Gucci, because that's 2 years, and in Gucci time, there's that word again. That's a lot of time. So,
and
was he in jail? He might have been in jail in this period. That might have been why we get the break.
Yeah, probably. So, like, in 2008, we got Chicken Talk 2, which is an absolutely insane sequel, because not only does it have nothing to do with Chicken Talk 1 sonically, but it also sounds like I'm in hell.
Well, in a good way, like in a good way, or like in a bad way. Like it's
like the production is so nonsensical that it makes me scared.
Well, I mean, one of the tracks here is Pill Poppin' Problem. That might account for some of the production choices.
Yeah, but also like songs like Making Money Fly or Money Bag Shorty and the Gucci classic I'm a Dog, which we will talk about later, I hope.
Yeah, we will. We will. Because I think there's the one we're going to talk about is a remix that has multiple people on it doing things.
Yes.
Dog-like things. And no, I'm not talking DMX, may he rest. There's a live song on here. Gucci not really known for giving you the live cuts.
And it's a good one. It's a good one. It's fun. Like, you don't need to listen to it, but it's a fun version of Trap House. Because the bass actually comes through really well in that recording, and yeah, it works.
There's a song called It's Boring, so he's kind of telling you not to listen to it. Like, he's...
Also very funny, this is one of the most slurred Gucci tapes. Like, he's slurring his soul out of his body on that one.
Well, Pill Poppin' Problem. There you go.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Young Ralph.
Yeah, and shout out to DJ Bobby Black. Just
yeah.
Shout out. Then we have Traptacular, one of the tapes that I had the honor of adding to RYM.
It's always good when you have to take you add it to RYM and you have to take like 30 seconds to recall a goddamn thing about it.
It's not a tape you need to hear. And it's not just because J Quig and DJ Scream host this.
Okay, that's not a promising DJ name. DJ's
No.
problems are that they scream. And this guy's like naming himself that. So that's already a red flag.
Well, DJ Scream shows up on a lot of different mixtapes. He's the
that name's actually familiar. He's on.
No, he's the
stuff, I think.
He's one of his ad libs is like the Hood Rich ad lib, right? That's one of the ones. Yeah. It was like Hood Rich, like with the ringing in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Ralph shows up again. I was not aware that Young Ralph was like a recurring thing. He changes his name though. He spelled it right. Young is now spelled properly, so he's trying to clean himself up a bit. I like the cover. The cover's got a lot of purple on it, a lot of drugs. This is one of those covers where Gucci looks like a cutout of himself.
And he has, oh God, what's this? The dog. He has
a pit bull of some kind.
No, it's not. It's
Pincher?
Nah. It's this dog from this one cartoon show. Ah, God, what's his name? Jesus Christ, I can't think of the name. But it shows again that Gucci loves taking cartoon characters and putting them on his eyes.
Oh, he has Odie from Garfield.
From Garfield.
Thank you. He has a fucking Odie chain. God damn, this man is a genius.
There's nothing that says genius like having you're going deep cut. You don't even have a Garfield chain. You have an Odie chain. And also, there's a highlighted neon sign saying Gucci Mane pointing to him in case you were wondering if he was in fact Gucci Mane. He is.
And he's holding literal bricks.
He's holding bricks.
Literal bricks.
In fact, he had bricks because this is a trap-tacular and he is heavy in the streets. And this is a long tape, man. I can't. You listen to 78 minutes of this shit.
And it has Wooda Kid on it.
It does. It has Wooda Kid. I'm sure the OJ tracks were. It has Manny Fresh on here. What?
Yeah. It's a 1 minute song.
It's 57 seconds long.
Damn.
It has a song called Catch Up.
Yeah.
A lot of one word titles on here. Waddle, Yorkie, which I guess is about how Gucci likes the dog. A lot of dogs on this tape.
Fever, cars.
A lot of dogs, a lot of cars. He goes ham on him at the end. I'm not going to listen to this. You probably shouldn't either.
then we have Icy Boy, disc 1. Yeah, there's 2 parts to this shit. This is interesting because it has one of the first appearances of Make the Trap Say A.
One of the best songs of all time.
Yeah,
that is one of the best songs from all time. Holy shit.
Quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick.
Hey. It also has a song called beautifully titled "My Plug Is an Alien." It's just
yes.
That's just racist. I think that's just racist, Gucci.
It has friend of Dame Dash and Jim Jones, Nicole Ray does a hook on No Mirror. We got some Loon. Somebody who slurs way worse than Gucci, Loon, shows up to freestyle. What? Loon? Loon shows up on here for some reason. These are some long songs too. 5.5 minutes on Jewelry. This one's weird, man.
You want to know why it's weird? You want to know why all these songs are so long? Because Quig restarts them like 5 times each.
God
yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I know. That tracks.
Then we have EA Sports Center.
This is good. I heard this.
Yeah, this one's actually quite good.
Yeah, this one's really good.
I've heard this one before. I did not realize I heard so much Young Ralph in my life and Young Fresh. But and on the same track at one point. This one's good though. I've listened to this one. Not
Isn't
recently,
Young
but I've
Fresh
heard
Bankroll Fresh? Isn't Young Fresh Bankroll Fresh?
No, it's Young Fresh. I mean, is that the same guy?
That is Bankroll Fresh.
I think that's early Bankroll Fresh. Yeah.
Oh, he just changed.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah. That's like 7 years before Bankroll Fresh got like notoriety.
Yeah, I completely did not make that connection. Now I feel like an asshole. Is A on here? Make the trap say A again. The one that's just A with OJ. I forget.
I think it is. Yeah.
King Gucci, I remember being very good.
King Gucci is great.
Yeah.
Cocky is on here again, and it's good. The title track is amazing.
Yeah. The what's the one? Jewelry's really good. Bricks is really good. That's the one that everyone's quoting in the comment box. But yeah, that's a great song.
Just hit a lick for 50 more bricks.
50 more bricks.
I guess we do need to inform the listeners before you get too excited about this that it is in fact holiday season. So
it is
hearing from DJ Holiday throughout this tape. So
happy Christmas.
Be aware.
Right. DJ Holiday, who was born in Germany, per the RYM page, which I have no idea if that's true or not.
Holiday wears Hermes.
Don't give him any ideas now.
No, please don't. Did any of you listen to Mr. Perfect once?
No, I didn't.
No. Even
we're on a run of things that I couldn't get to. This 08 era. Some of it I couldn't get to.
08 is insane for Gucci. It's this really long tape. It's 32 songs long. There's barely anything new on here. Loud Pack is fun.
Well, Fat Joe Speaks is probably essential because we definitely need Fat Joe to just show up on the tape to be like, "Yo, Gucci, what up, though?"
Yeah, literally. Miss Pac-Man with Rich Boy and shout out Jackie O. And there's a guy on here just called Fresh. Just called Fresh.
Fresh.
Fresh, man.
There's a track of Ace shout-outs. Yeah, it seems like DJ Ace is probably pretty bad on this tape. I'm getting the impression because he refers to himself as the South's top DJ on the cover art. When we are that insecure, I'm really not thinking that. We got Ace Speaks followed by Ace shout-outs and then Ace Skit after that. Yeah, seems like we're getting a whole lot of DJ Ace here. So.
Yeah, but also the next one is something that I've actually been looking forward to. Will Chamberlain, the Mixtape 1.
And surely he gets it so right that we're not going to have any more of these. Like, you get it so right the first time. You don't need to do it again.
You want to know what works about this fucking tape? Every song is short. Like, it's just instant gratification hits of Gucci, like one after another. It's just his verses on, a lot of them are literally just his features where the song is cut out and it's just his verse on the song.
Yeah, it's kind of like Jadakiss the Champ is Here Part 2, if anybody's ever heard that, or I think maybe Champ is Here Part 3, one of those where it's just like, that's what everybody wanted out of the Jadakiss album that he never would do, is everybody hears all these Jadakiss features and they're like, why wouldn't he do this on an album? And then you listen to a Jadakiss album and it's like 4-minute songs with Mariah Carey features. I'm like, nobody wants this. So the mixtape is just like, they take all the verses you like and they cut them out of the rest of the song and give it to you whenever. So it's kind of that sort of.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great. It's just so much fun. All 22 songs. There's Shopping Spree on here, which is insane. I Feel Like Cooking. His verse on Gucci Bandana. Oh, God. Remember that time when Gucci Man and Soulja Boy were like best friends? It was weird.
Yeah. Time. I mean, it kind of makes sense, though.
It does.
Both absurdist artists in their own way.
I remember... I remember the Gucci Bandana. He did the Gucci Bandana beat, or I think he rapped it, one or the other. Like, I remember him doing Gucci Bandana, like, in one way or another, being involved with Gucci Bandana. This Is How We Do. Wasn't that a Waka? Didn't he do that on Mr. Zone 6, too? This Is How We Do. Or
I think.
This Is How We Do. I think he did that with Waka on Mr. Zone 6. And that might be... I don't know if it was the same song or not, because I did not listen to any of the Will Chamberlains. Spoiler. DJ Rel. Okay, I think at the end we're gonna have to do a ranking of worst Gucci DJs. Where's DJ Rel? Like, I mean, because
he's a non-presence.
He's a non-presence. Okay, I think that's like a net positive overall consideration. But
it's just every couple of minutes you hear one DJ Rail, and then it's over. And
that's fine. I can live with that. So
yeah,
this is the Will Chamberlain series of cover arts is really what I think we gotta talk about, because it's just one after the other, murderer's row of cover arts here. I like the fact that in the first one, outside of the fact that the photoshops aren't cropped enough, so it doesn't actually look like the woman is like giving him head, but there's the butterflies in the background of the suicide door car. The butterflies are coming up from the car. Like, you got blue butterflies, you got green butterflies. I don't really know what's going on here.
It took me a second to figure out those were suicide doors, because it looked like some sort of sentient candy bar handing Gucci like a contract or something. Like, I could not figure out what the fuck that was.
You can only really tell because there's a wheel there, but outside of that, it's
the car is so like fragmented by everything. The lens flare, we're connoisseurs of lens flare on this podcast.
Yes.
And there's so much lens flare.
Yeah.
There's lens flare all over this photoshopped woman's ass. And like you said, you cannot tell that she's supposed to be giving him head.
No.
But only when you said that, I'm like, oh, that's what's happening there.
Yeah, it's a tough look. The lens flare would make J.J. Abrams proud. You've got
the second woman who's like very obviously pasted in the background.
Right. What is the basketball hoop? I guess because all we do is fuck bitches and balls. So you got
with the quotation marks around it. I guess that's a Will.
Yeah,
I guess Will Chamberlain probably said that, so that's why we have to quote that.
In year 5 of his career, that's what Will Chamberlain was doing. In between setting records in the paint on the basketball court, he said that 1970 Will Chamberlain. That's what he was doing.
We have multiple money bags among the basketballs too, as well.
That's right.
Wow. This is amazing.
Because Will Chamberlain was famously overpaid for his work. That's what it was.
Like all basketball players in the 70s, he was way overpaid.
They were definitely paid what they were worth, no question. I like Gucci's.
That's why it's good there was only one league. Like, that's why the NBA winning was good, because all basketball players got paid what they were worth in the 70s.
Right.
So, yeah, we have lens flare on the wheels.
We have Gucci's appreciation for California villa architecture in the background.
Oh yeah, we have a nice hacienda in the background too, which is always appreciated. I feel like the cover art's just going to get better as we go along in this series. Surely will only last like 1 or 2 more. Like, it's going to be a trilogy at best, right? Like, there's not going to be too many of these. Sure.
Yeah, and then we got Gucci Sosa. Released by Heavy in the Streets, presented by DJ Scream. It's a good one. That's a really good one. If you should listen to it. It's like Gucci trying to be classy.
You can tell by
Mr. Davis classy type thing. Like, is this like R&B Gucci, or is it like?
It's a lot of strings, a lot of pianos.
Like Gucci rapping over like Shostakovich type thing.
It's like he actually raps on it as if he was like an old school mobster, like very articulate, very pronounced.
It's a Francis Ford Gucci.
It's like OJ. I was about to say OJ because I was going to comment that OJ the Juice Man goes by only OJ the Juice on this one, which is an interesting stylistic choice. But yeah, it's like Gucci and the Cotton Club kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, they got to play a fly. I got to play a fly feature on here. I hear.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I hear he's a punk bitch. I hear negative things about Play a Fly.
Well, and now we are thankfully at the only other Will Chamberlain, most definitely, probably, part 2, Worthy and Irving. That's probably a basketball reference I don't get.
Yeah,
they're kind of okay basketball players. They played for some team or something. I don't know. Caleb might know more about this. They were decent.
James Worthy, and Dr. J.
Julius Irving. They were very famous basketball players in the United States.
Played in the same era as that, so that's why Gucci.
And the idea I think here is supposed to be that he and it's very confusing because he's calling himself Wilt Chamberlain, but I guess he's implying that he and OJ are James Worthy and Dr. J.
Dr. J.
Yeah.
So. James Worthy, who remained cool later in life, and now he just shits on the current day Lakers. He's on their television network, but the Lakers have been so bad this season that every time they lose and they just go to him like in the studio after the game, he's just like down horrendously because they're so bad.
I can hear Sophia zoning out. She does not.
Yeah, this is very niche American basketball content, but that's literally what like James Worthy is like most known for these days. It's just.
There was a cool James Worthy reference on the most recent Currency and Alchemist project, which is awesome on the Tonight Show. So, but yeah, we support anybody shitting on the Lakers in any era.
We do, even former players.
Sports.
Sports. I have opinions on them. But anyway, yeah, this tape, I enjoyed this tape. I didn't listen to it fresh, but I enjoyed it when I heard it because I love Gucci and OJ together. They're great. And well, this is more of like solo tracks together, if I recall, right? Like isn't it like, are they together on those tracks featured, or is it OJ solo?
The first 4 tracks are Gucci and OJ. Then it's
it's OJ solo.
Let me look at it. Then it's 23 songs just Gucci. And then it's 5 songs just OJ.
Weird balance, but I mean,
it works out.
It worked. I mean, it's funny that they do have Worthy and Irving. First of all, they spell Irving's name wrong at the end, and they have it's called Worthy and Irving. But I guess I don't know which one's supposed to be Irving here. I don't know, Caleb. Who would you say is supposed to be Dr. J in this? I guess Gucci would be Dr. J.
I guess it's kind of tough. It kind of depends on what you think Gucci's, going for. Like, does he think Dr. J is cooler? Because that,
I personally think Dr. J is cooler, but I'm biased. But
I think we could settle on Gucci as Dr. J because neither one of them have really attributes. Maybe Gucci is.
Well, I think Gucci's probably like a more laid back, and OJ's more hype. So
right. Gucci is Wilt and he's Dr. J. That's what he's trying to say because it's a special edition. But he's the overarching theme is that he's still Wilt Chamberlain.
And to go back to things that Sophia might know about or care about, I think that the reason that the chemistry between the two works, it kind of prefigures the chemistry between Gucci and Waka, is you have Gucci's got like this laid back, cool chemistry and OJ's hype. And it's not as extreme as Gucci and Waka, but I think it's the same sort of dynamic.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Then we have definition of a G. Before I talk about, we don't need to talk about the Gucci and Yo Gotti tapes, even though they're mostly decent.
Wow, the Dark Man is on here? What the fuck? Why? Twice.
Yeah.
Law the Dark. What the fuck is this tape, man? This is weird. Why? We might need to talk about this one. I don't know. Like I didn't hear it. But that's just a weird ass guest list.
Yeah, it is, but it's actually you wouldn't notice. The thing is, a lot of these tapes by Gucci and Yo Gotti are actually basically lost by now. Like, they aren't on that Piff anymore. No one on SoulSeek has them. They are not on YouTube. But yeah.
I know one person whose ears just perked up, even if he doesn't listen to Gucci and he produces this podcast. And he'll just find shit to find shit. So, we might have to talk about the law. I guess we will touch on the lost ones when we get to them too. And I guess this is the same sort of thing. I mean, you found it. You listened to it. You found it somehow. But
definition of a G is one of the more archived projects. Like it's
a Gangsta Grills, so I figure anything Gangsta Grill. Well, that's not necessarily true, but I think most Gangsta Grills projects were probably archived by somebody. Like that's a named series. So Like, I think DJ Drama stuff is going to circulate, but
Yeah.
like,
Then there's the only songs I would mention from this are Light Show, which was also on Will Chamberlain 2 in parts. That's cool.
that's a weird beat. I like that beat.
Yeah, it's a really weird beat. Them Birds, which is I can't even describe that shit. And Drive By, that's just fun. Yeah, that's this tape basically. Then we have Will Chamberlain 3. More balling, more coke in basketballs, more ass, more cars.
Nothing wrong with sequels that deliver more, right? That was the Gucci and the film industry in the 2000s were remarkably similar. Just giving it more, giving everybody more.
For some reason, Colossus is on here, which you probably don't know, but it's like this really weird. It's like this late zeros Atlanta rapper that barely anyone remembers except for me for some reason. He made a tape with Gorilla Zoe once. Gorilla Zoe. I think it's Zoe.
I always thought it was Gorilla Zoe because Zoe's a girl's name, but it could have been either. I never really I don't really like. Is he the dude that sounds like 50 Cent? Kind of.
A bit.
I think that there was, I don't know. I never really was that interested. Clearly not that interested. I did not listen to this part of the Wilt Chamberlain series.
Yeah, then
Nicki Minaj shows up here, I see, on this track called Slumber Party. I can only imagine that's tasteful.
It's okay, actually.
I mean, no, Nicki's like, there was some Nicki track I heard recently where she like went the fuck. It was probably, I think it was on actually Burrprint too. So I think Nicki kind of respects Gucci enough that and Nicki at this point rapped her ass off, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Although Nicki on sex songs is always hit and miss for me because she's just so fucking especially at this point, could be so fucking graphic. It's like sometimes I'm not in the mood for that.
We got to shout out the song Pussy Puller just for being called Pussy Puller.
Well, I mean, he had Nicki on the first track, so clearly, and given what he said on Twitter later, you know, got him in trouble. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we'll get to that when
on.
we get to it. We have a lot of Gucci one-word titles on here. We got Stunt, we got Colors, we got Smoke, we got Thirsty, again, first track. We got Laughing, we got Money. Gucci apparently likes Mountain Dew. You know.
Are you surprised?
Not really.
Yeah.
You know, asses, basketballs. Basketball still with cocaine. That's a nice touch. Arm and Hammer. Lens flare on the Arm and Hammer. I'm counting like 10 lens flares just to look like I'm not even like just out like on jump 10 lens flares.
Oh, no question.
Wow. The cover art is so good, man. Beautiful.
All of
I'm
them.
putting this in the cover art canon right now on my tags.
The cover art Hall of Fame, and we are adequate judges of the cover art Hall of Fame.
I know this is up there with
so
Mayor
many
Bloomberg,
basketballs
Mike
on
Grady.
here. There's
All
so
right,
many
so,
basketballs.
Colossus has a terrible name, by the way. Like I didn't realize, like I was not by my tablet when you said that, and I'm now looking at his spelling, and that's fuck you, Colossus. Spell your name right, dude. Spell your name right. Zone 6 to Duval.
No. Now, Bigger Rankin is trying because he's next to Gucci, but Gucci is like, do I have to make a mixtape with this guy?
It has a song called Pampers on it.
It also has a song called
that actually speaks
Nickelodeon.
to me though. That hits different for me now.
Yeah.
I will say that much. And you know, one of the best songs of all time is "Pissy Pamper Kid Cudi" by Playboi Carti. So
Facts.
can't really. This looks like it's trash. They spell pussy. There I go. Pussy puller a different way on here. Good that we're here to talk about these important things.
A Nickelodeon is decent. Next.
The movie Gangsta Grills.
That's a fucking amazing one. Holy.
Yeah, I didn't rate this, and I haven't heard it in a while, but this one's fucking great. I remember the first 5 on this being, the first actually 6 being fucking amazing. And then, holy crap, that's all the people on Love for Money?
Yeah.
Law the Darkman again? Why was Law the Darkman hanging around all these dudes?
Especially on a song with Flo Rida and Trey Songz.
Yeah, that's so weird. Like, what kind of lineup is that? Willie the Kid, Trey Songz, Law the Darkman, Bun B, and Flo Rida. None of these people fit together. I mean, Flo Rida and Trey Songz fit together. While the Darkman and Willie the Kid kind of fit together, you can put Bun B with anybody, he's going to work. But all these people do not fit together.
And he makes it work. That's the amazing part.
Photo Shoot's one of the best songs ever.
Yeah.
Stop.
Kill the Parking Lot is one of the very first Mike Will beats. Like, legit.
That's another thing we can give Gucci credit for, is he put Mike Will on.
Like, this is, and like, legit, this is not an exaggeration. That's one of the, I think he once said it's one of the first 6 beats he ever made in his life.
We have I Live in a TV, which I only assume is Gucci talking about being Mike TV from the Willy Wonka film when he gets sucked into a TV.
Damn, that's a deep cut.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw the title. Yeah, this is for 70 minutes. I mean, I haven't listened to this in a while, but I remember it not feeling like 70 minutes.
No, not at all. This is great.
I'm going to have to listen to Love for Money again. I cannot believe all those people are on the same fucking song together. That is bananas. Yeah, you know what's a great idea? Put Law the Darkman on the same song as Trey Songz. Who didn't want that in 2008?
You're asking the real questions here, Patrick.
I'm just asking questions, man.
The first of too many Trey Songz collabs with anyone.
I mean, we only know the only Trey Songz collab that like is any good is successful, and everything else is trash. So.
Pretty much.
Well, Who Framed Radric Davis? I can't even find out if that.
Oh my God, this cover.
This is an amazing cover art.
It is.
Now he missed the opportunity. He missed the opportunity to put Jessica Rabbit on the cover art.
That is true. Why is he not pimping Jessica Rabbit on this cover?
Right.
This cover is actually not. This cover is actually a little underwhelming given what he could have done.
Yeah, it's a great title and the font is great, and like I love the bottom left portion of the cover, but like there's a lot of unused space that he could.
That is true. Yeah, like they pretty much like the whole top half is negative space that could have been used much better. I mean, we have the car from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. For some reason, we have the cigar smoking Porky Pig, an analog from Roger Rabbit. It's been a while since I've seen Roger Rabbit. Gucci bandana, yes. Soulja Boy is in fact on a version of that. I did remember that.
No, it's Soulja Boy's song.
I thought it not.
No, it's Soulja's song.
Right, I knew I remember that properly, and so I said that before, and nobody responded. I was like, "Did he come up with that beat, or did it?"
He made the beat too.
Yeah, that's a good song. Gucci Man. Anyway, go ahead. I didn't listen to this, so you should probably.
I couldn't because I can't find this version of it. The one thing that I will mention though is it's really fascinating that this is a mixtape with a DVD. The second disc is a DVD.
Also, this doesn't seem like it has anything original on it, really.
No, it
has Rise to the Freaky Girl exclusive remix, which is clearly just some dude put a different beat over Freaky Girl. Why would you do that? Other than that, and Gucci Mane versus Jeezy Interlude is probably just like 2 interviews spliced together where they're talking about each other.
It probably is, yeah.
So this doesn't seem like, aside from the title, which is hilarious, and the cover art, which could be better. Yeah, this is disappointing, actually. Like, I saw the cover and heard the cover art, and I was like, this could be great, and no.
Then we have One Chamberlain Part 4, the Conspiracy Edition. Live from Atlanta Fulton County Jail, Free Gucci. What is this cover?
Okay, I'm trying to get. See, why did RYM break the fucking cover so hard? Like, I have to click on, like, it's not, the cover doesn't, I think I complained about this in the podcast before. The cover doesn't display properly on the tablet anymore, so I have to click on the cover art and get, like, a little thumbnail and then glare it. So, okay. So, as best I can tell, this cover is Gucci talking to the press, Well, behind
In
him,
jail.
Gucci is in jail, and Gucci is also not in jail. Like, Gucci is free. Or no, but is he wearing? I don't know. There's shirtless Gucci and prison Gucci, while Gucci is also talking to the press. This is all badly photoshopped together with, like, prison around him.
Yeah, and this is also the point where these mixtapes get so boring.
Yeah, this doesn't. Your review was not promising. It's very, very long, and it's got a lot of tracks. Nickelodeon shows up here again. Nicki shows up twice. Nicki and Soulja together, which is
That's one of the best songs.
Yeah, that's Nicki and Soulja in 2008 together is interesting. You get Nicki twice, like I said, with the other one's Nicki and Ludacris's Weed Carrier, Bobby Valentino. The Way My Wrist Listens, an interesting song title. Just
that's also one of the best songs on there.
Yeah,
like if there's a song you want to check out,
Gucci him over the Krayshawn beat. Is Gucci him over the Krayshawn song? There's a track called Gucci.
How is that possible? This is from 2008.
Well, when was the Krayshawn song from? Later than that, I guess.
10.
Yeah, okay, I think it was like a year or two later.
There, Gucci predicted Krayshawn.
Well, yeah.
Another thing.
Well, then we have So Icy Boy Disc 2 coming a whopping. God damn.
I know, that's late. Like, you can't really do that.
Like 8 months later. Amazing. For some reason, you have Lil Jon and Richard Pryor on a song here.
I assume that was a fresh Richard Pryor feature and not just,
Also DJ Speedy and Biggie.
I assume that was a fresh Biggie feature.
Biggie and OJ.
I assume that was a fresh. Never mind. I'll stop this bit.
Ray Dallas. My man. Who is that? Shout out. This
I've already moved on to Wilt Chamberlain Part 6 because I clicked on the wrong thing, which has some features on it.
Well, yeah. Wilt Chamberlain Part 5. Just
Part 6, right? Part 6.
No, 5.
Oh, wait, where's 5? Oh, DJ. It's under DJ Rel, I guess. That's Part 4. How the fuck am I getting these Chamberlains mixed up? Fuck you.
Part 5 is actually also called The Big Nickel.
Oh, well, there you go.
And again, fantastic cover art. Don't listen to this tape. That's all I'm gonna say. The cover art is gorgeous, just amazing. Well, then we have.
I wanted to see the cover art. Why does it keep refreshing, motherfucker? OG Nick Mars said most of these beats are trash, but there are some exceptions. This is Gucci driving very unsafely with a young lady in his passenger side and money just flying everywhere. Yeah, we've got some lens flare. Gucci should not drive like that. All right, moving on.
Living the Life of a Trap Star, which is hosted by a guy called DJ Capcom.
Begging to get sued. Begging to lawsuit.
Yeah, it's this is basically if Gucci is comfort food music to you, then you can listen to this. If he's not, don't. Bun B and E40 on a song together on here, which is fun, but
that's pretty cool.
It is cool. That's a good song. 3
legendary weirdos on a song together. I like that. But Wilt Chamberlain Part 6 has 2. Okay, you're probably going to have to. Well, we'll get to that. You're right. We've got several to get to here, including one that I'm really curious about. So go ahead.
Then we have Exclusive. Again, just comfort food music. Nothing. Fat Joe is on here again.
Why does he just keep showing up and talking? He doesn't do any verses. Like, do a verse,
there's some
asshole.
There are some ASMR type flows on here, which are great. Another break.
Even the cover art's low effort. Like, I mean, you get a really low effort, like, ass. You get some low effort money. It's just called Exclusive.
Is that Kim Kardashian?
Is that supposed to be Kim on the right?
I think
maybe. Yeah.
I think
so low effort.
I think
this
it
is presented to you by World Star Hip Hop.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. Yeah, it is.
And DJ Krill.
Don't
Shout
tell
out.
Kanye. He's real sensitive about that these days. You might get a Gucci diss on Donda too.
Yeah.
D4L,
only on the stem player though.
D4L shows up on another brick. In case you were waiting for that D4L and Gucci, Down for Life and Gucci thing. Yeah, no one cares about this. Moving on.
Trap Boys Lovers, Gucci Tendo. We don't know when or how this happened. Trap Boys Lovers. It's another tape with Shorty Low that no one really needs to listen to. Like you don't. I'm not gonna talk about this. Wait a second. When did? Oh yeah, wait. Yeah.
I promise to the listener we're eventually going to get to albums we talk about. They exist.
I'm gonna just need to look when Murder Was the Case came out, so I get my timeline straight. May. Okay. Then we still have some shit to go. Where were we? Will Chamberlain Part 6, which is the original.
Okay, so you got to explain this shit to me. We have the official and
someone else put out an unofficial Wilt Chamberlain Part 6.
There was such demand for Wilt Chamberlains that we have knockoff Wilt Chamberlains. Really, really though.
The original one is, by the way, is also called The Hood Loves Me. Great. This one isn't very fun or interesting. Shout out.
Cover art is great though. He's in jail. He's got lens flare jewelry and like so much shit in his cell. Like the CEOs love Gucci. Rick Ross loves Gucci, and that's why he has so much shit in his cell.
Yeah. Shout out Action with K and Skills. Shout out Yola the Great for showing up again here, and Courtney Money is here on here for some reason. The interesting thing about this tape though is the only official rip of this that exists on the internet was if I interpret this correctly, is by DJ Rel himself, who copied this from the scratched up CD, and you can hear the scratches in the CD.
That's kind of charming. That's actually kind of charming. I like that Fiend is on the very last track. Because I'm wondering if this... Do you remember if this is like smooth International Jones Fiend, or is this like an old Fiend verse that they took back? Because like he would have both out there. Because he sounded very different. You probably don't remember. Oh, it's an old Fiend verse?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're both cool. It's just funny because they sound so different. Like, he went to jail and he came out and he sounded like fucking smooth ass dude. But then he listened to an old Fiend thing and he's like, Mr. Womp Womp. So.
Then we have the official Wilt Chamberlain Part 6, which is actually the unofficial one.
Good to have clarity on this.
Hosted by Trapaholics and D-Life. Yeah, this one is, don't bother.
How many Trapaholics drops did you hear in this project, by the way? How many?
Like 60. Shout out
to Ants in Her Pants. Ants in Her Pants.
With fucking Ninth Ward. Like, Jesus. Also shout out Mr. 2 Official. That's a great. Who also was on mixtapes by Hitman Shorty and JT the Bigger Figure.
It's weird that he's hanging out with. Well, I guess JT the Bigger Figure fell out with Game. It's weird. I guess Gucci and Game only had that one song together. I didn't even know they had. Yeah. And anyway, because I know JT was like the first guy that broke Game on or put Game on. Whatever. Continue.
Bird Flu Part 2, again, completely unnecessary. No one needs to listen to this. That album cover is fucking spectacular, though. Gucci is sprouting wings out of his bag in the middle of toxic waste, and there's, for some... there's so many crows. I think this is supposed to be in a graveyard as well, but there's also, like, crates with scorpions on them, like... Thank you, The Empire, for giving us this gorgeous picture. But moving on. Then we have Gucci Land, hosted by DJ Evie. Comfort Food, again, nothing noticeable. Not a Stain on Me is fun. That's a song by this guy called Big Tuck. Gucci has a great verse.
Career could be Tucker Carlson just did anything for money.
And There's also a Bricks remix with OJ, Fabulous, 8-Ball, MJG, and Shorty Low.
I mean, I actually will probably seek that out. That sounds pretty cool.
It is. Then we
Your
have
favorite rapper's favorite trapper, is that just some cash grab shit? That's No Deemer reviewed that, and you didn't.
Yeah, it's a compilation mixtape. I don't do those.
Oh, it's just a bunch of crap. Never mind. It's just shit. You wouldn't need to review that. That's just songs. I think that was just somebody put that out there to just cash it on him and Jeezy, I guess, based upon the title. So
yeah. Then we have Kitchen Talk, another amazing cover with the Arm & Hammer logo, but it has Kitchen Talk written on it. Amazing. Also hosted by DJ Rel. It's one of the most boring tapes he ever put out. Don't. And then we have Bird Money, which actually reuses the album art for Ice Attack. And it was released by Big Cat, so no.
Okay, fuck that. Never mind. Move on.
Official white label, I couldn't find that shit.
It says remixes, so I assume he had nothing to do with it, and who cares? Free at Last.
This is
rapping over Martin Luther King speeches.
This is when he was literally just released from Fulton County Jail. I think he made that tape in like a week.
Well, it has First Day Out on it, which is one of the best songs ever. That song's fucking amazing.
It is. There's a Make the Trap Say A remix with Busta Rhymes.
I don't need to hear Busta ruin that. Fuck you.
You don't.
I'd rather hear French Montana on that. That is my low. I don't know. People seem to think it's a hot take that Busta Rhymes sucks, but fuck Busta Rhymes, man. I'd rather hear French Montana on that song. Kitchen's gonna be so mad at me. There are a lot of features on this that look like Esther Dean. Weird. Who the fuck is
Shout out Wingo.
Who the fuck is Big Mike Bucalino?
Shout out Big Mike Bucalino.
Who the fuck
Shout out Chopper Young City.
Papa Duck, man. Oh my god, you gotta look at Papa Duck's mixtape. Okay, Caleb, you gotta fucking click on Papa Duck's page. Holy shit.
Well, hey, give me a second.
Oh my god, no, what the fuck is this shit? No! The Little Rock Dogs. Okay, yeah.
This is Rock Dogs.
This is an art piece. This is performance art right here.
This is... I'm sorry, Gravy has been unseated as the new official rap. Papa Duck, with his, like, Daffy Duck on a shield, like, patting his belly with all these goons behind him.
And like, who the fuck is Chopper Young City? Like,
Papa Duck.
How did he? What are these? What are these tapes?
I feel like Caleb just woke up and he's like, "What's going on?"
What's the Little Rock Dogs? That's great.
Oh my god! All right, yeah. Papa Duck is actually, it's actually the title of this episode is FeBRR-uary, Papa Duck.
This appears on section for Papa Duck as a murderer's row.
Oh yeah, you got Rick Ross. You got wow.
I've never seen this many things with no ratings on the site. That's crazy.
Damn.
Alabama Muscle. Damn. Fucking crazy, dude.
There's also a song that Patrick will always hate, but I will always love because it's the weirdest shit ever. Break Up.
Moving on.
Gucci Mania.
Gucci Mania is, I assume, if this is not WrestleMania theme, I'm gonna be mad. It has Mike Jones on it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is. Well, at least the theme is the cover art's WrestleMania themed. I like that. He's got his 1017 belt on. It's really, the camera angle is giving me vertigo. I can't tell what the fuck is happening. We have a lot of the same songs as the last tape.
But we also have Hustler's Anthem, which is...
Everybody asked for Busta Rhymes and Ryan Leslie on the same song. But
it's actually kind of fun, but yeah.
Who names themselves Young Problems?
It got a lot of them. Got 99 of them. That's what I heard.
He only has 30. He only actually has 66 because he's young.
Okay, moving on. Gucci the Glacier.
We have another live song, photo shoot live. New World Champion I'm probably listening to if he makes like wrestling references like it's a Griselda song. Anyway, continue.
Gucci the
also,
Glacier.
I hate when other people get on wasted and ruin it. Fuck you, Plies. Okay, now moving on.
Gucci the Glacier. It's not interesting, but you get a song with Sierra. A song with
again another person he got in trouble tweeting about.
Yo Gotti and Lonnie Mac on a song. And a song with Jagged Edge for some reason. I don't know.
Why the fuck not, man? Sure. Casey and JoJo did not respond to his email, so had to go to the second option.
Then we get Writing on the Wall. That's a good one. That's a really, really good one. That's the tape that Gucci took his time for, obviously. There's some recycling. I
remember She Got a Friend with Jewels. I assume that Pussy Rehab with 2 Chainz just has so many dumb jokes on it. It's probably amazing. But I can already hear the 2 Chainz pussy jokes on there. The dad jokes are off the charts.
You also got Girls Kissing Girls with Nicki Minaj. We got a dude called
a classic Gucci archetype for sure.
We got a song called Chubby Baby.
We don't have a song called Chubby Baby. We have an artist called Chubby Baby.
Oh my god, he looks even better than I imagined. Oh my god.
God. Oh wow. Lens flare again. Just
also, and that's fucking amazing. We have a song featuring Super Sorta Human on here. What? Like,
who?
That's
who are you? What? They worked with Lil Ugly Mane. What?
Yeah.
They're a member of something called Pyrotactyl Death Squad.
Yeah.
Okay, members of Pyrotactyl Death Squad are Joey Bag of Donuts, Super Sorta Human, Conspira MC, and Iguana Nadon. And they've got an album. They got some release that has, first of all, Sonics from the 90s themed mixtape art. So of course I'm going to download it. And it's because Sean Kemp, aka Lil Ugly Mane's producer alias, did the beats. So yeah. Who the fuck is this? And why the fuck is
he's
Gooch
great
project?
He's fun. He's great. I love him. And I have no idea how he ended up on this tape.
This is so weird. Like, at least when Lil B shows up on a Gucci project later, it's kind of like that. At that point, Lil B was famous enough that it's like somebody told him about it. Why does DJ Holiday get a feature credit? That's got to be bad. He's yelling enough that they have to feature him. Again, wasted where Plies ruins it. This is weird enough that I'm probably going to listen to it. I'm catalog that.
It's a good tape. It's a really good tape. Then we have one album I just want to mention really quickly because no. But Murder Was the Case, because like at that point the Radric Davis versus the State. No, wait, the State versus Radric Davis was already announced, right? And
actually, so the trilogy, if I recall.
So what did
trilogy? The Roderick Davis versus the State, then the appeal and the verdict. If I recall, it was supposed to be 3 as a trilogy. We never got the verdict. We just got the appeal.
Yeah, but what did Big Cat do? They saw, he's gonna release an album about his stint in jail, so we're gonna release an album called Murder Was the Case with this mark shot on it, and then we're gonna have a song on there where we literally sample someone shitting on the toilet, and gonna have him rap on that.
Oh, that's super mature from a really cool guy doing really cool things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for some reason, Ox is on here and gets his own song. Shout out Ox.
Wait, Ox, the guy from the Big Dough Rehab?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a nobody. Then we have back to the mixtapes because we're not done with 2000.
We have not gotten to the album anyone knows yet.
Gucci Le Flag Greatest Hits, don't. But now we have.
I'm a fan of these reviews where you're just like, don't.
Yeah. It's really insightful, actually, genuinely. Public service announcements, basically.
As someone, as that one bitch who listened to it all, don't. Then we have the goddamn mixtape I wanted to talk about so bad. The Gooch.
The Gooch.
Holy shit.
What the fuck is this tape? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know, but it's amazing.
I do not know the circumstances that created this tape. Okay, so let's extrapolate from the beginning here. The cover. So it says Gucci Man starring as the Gooch. So that implies some sort of weird concept where we have two Gucci's on the cover, and one appears to be, we've debated this on the show before, kicking his way out the window, or so it's like, I don't understand. It's so much I don't understand about this.
Then you get the songs.
Such as they are.
Which is funny because Cocaine Cowboy starts it off on like relatively normal note.
Yeah.
And then it just...
and then, yeah.
Off the deep end. Like,
well, Weird certainly delivers on Weird. I mean, it's weird. But then we have Ego Trip is the one where he just raps about Snoop Dogg showing up for a minute, right? And then...
yeah, and then he doesn't.
Then, no Snoop Dogg. It's like, yo, Snoop Dogg's awesome. No Snoop Dogg. Medicine. We did an episode about 3-6 Mafia about how awesome they are, and they do this like, super intimidating songs about like, dark shit and like killing you, and you come with that Anna and you want lemon, they're gonna shoot you. That is not what Medicine is.
Medicine is a piano ballad with Carrie Hilson.
Medicine is a soft piano ballad. And
Gucci is singing on
followed it. By LOL, which is
a song by Trey Songz.
Possibly the worst song of all time.
She sent me LOL smiley face.
My brain. Oh my God, my poor brain. What the fuck is this album, dude?
Then she got a friend, Jules Santana and Big Boy. What the fuck?
Why the fuck is Big Boy here?
We Steady Bobbin.
There's a point where he just lets 2/3 of Obsessed by Mariah Carey play out and raps over some of it.
Just the
he
opening.
Raps over a little part of Boom Boom Pow by the Black Eyed Peas.
Gosh.
Just like a little part of it. Snoop Dogg. Oh, wait, no. It says Awesome featuring Snoop Dogg, but I don't think that does feature.
No, he is. He is on there.
He shows up later. Not on the song where he talks about Snoop Dogg, though.
Yes! Then we got Break Up again, which it just kind of fits on the... I know, Patrick. But it fits on this tape because
it's so weird. Like, there's like so much weird R&B stuff, and like there's one song I forget. I have to look at my review. He raps his ass off for like a minute on one of the. Well, there's two. There's Steady Mobbin', which has a slightly different title on here, which is one of his best songs. And I think this might be the first time Steady Mobbin' shows up. Actually,
it is
on here, on this. Steady Mobbin' shows up before. Like, was Steady Mobbin' on? Was that on fucking No Ceilings?
I think.
No, it was on. It was on one of the Wayne albums.
The bad Wayne albums that we all forget.
Yeah, I think it was the first I Am Not a Human Being. Let me check.
I'm wondering if this predates that. If Gucci was just like, yeah, I have this 5-star fucking amazing song. I'm going to put it out on the Gooch.
Yeah, it was on, oh, you know what? Maybe... Eddie Marvin. Oh, you know what it was? It was on the Young Money comp. That's what it was.
Yeah.
We are Young Money. Yeah. The one that I was thinking about was right above it. Was on the I'm Not a Human Being one. That was what I was thinking about.
This is bizarre. This is maybe the most bizarre thing. I mean, I can't say that with any certainty because Sophia's covered everything. But
no, it is. It is
weird.
It is. Like this is unprecedented and never again reached levels of what the fuckery. Alley Boy is on here on a song called "I'ma Smash It." Great. I don't know. This tape is just every time I listen to it, I feel like I'm doing drugs. Nah, I mean, yes, but I mean, nah, but I mean, yes.
I felt that. All of that. I did feel it.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing where it's like, I want to recommend you listen to it, but I can't in good conscience say that. Like, I honestly can't, because it's really not that good, but it's interesting, but it's not that good. It's more weird than good.
Yeah. Let's move on.
I guess we should just move on, because it's like all I can say is, if you ever wanted to hear Gucci rap over a sensitive 3-6 Mafia piano ballad with Carrie Hilson crooning,
and Gucci crooning as well. And Gucci crooning as well.
Yes, and Gucci croons along with it. And also there's a track where he fucking does like a Lil Wayne impression, and then it also has Steady Mobbin' on it. So he's like making fun of Lil Wayne, and then Lil Wayne shows up. Also, he has a track where he raps about Snoop Dogg showing up, and Snoop Dogg doesn't show up. And then Snoop Dogg shows up.
7 songs later.
It's fucking gross. And like, what the fuck? I can't even, man. Let's just move on. Like, this is exhausting. Like, this is so fucking... Yeah, and they have Wasted with the wrong title.
Get Wasted.
How do you get Wasted? It's a one-word title. He says it 18,000 times in the song. Very simple.
Let's get a white boy wasted. Yeah. The movie part 2. This is a good one. Released by affiliates for some reason. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's not as good as the first, but it's a bit more serious. Yeah, serious. Even with a song called Beat It Up featuring Trey Songz, Hottest Rapper featuring Waka Flocka, Overboard, which has OJ the Juice Man, Rock City, yes, Rock City, the If I Got Locked Away and Lost It All Today, Tell Me Honestly, Would You Still Love Me the Same guys, on a song with La the Dog Man.
Gosh.
Again with La the Dog
Man. Also, you have a Waka Flocka Flame on a song with J Money.
Is this the first Waka Gucci feature? That seems significant.
Yeah, it is. Like, technically, it's Hottest Rapper featuring Waka, but yeah.
I mean, on this tape, we got Breakup yet again. So good, we have to keep throwing it on there in case you didn't get enough of it. We have a song called Gucci.
Just Gucci. We have a song just called Burr. Right.
Real low effort titling on this one.
But it's a good one. It's a good tape. Ain't Nothing Else to Do is amazing. Yeah, Hottest Rapper is great. A Lot is great. Yeah, there's a lot of good songs on here. Also, Gucci, the song is like Shauna and Nicki Minaj just swooning over Gucci, and he talks about himself in a third person. Why not?
I mean, he does talk about himself in the third person quite a bit anyway, so he's always referring to himself as Gucci, so that's not really a big reach. Yeah, Waka shows up twice, plus we also have Ole Due at the very end, so... Yeah, I think clearly he's starting to think about 1017 as like an artist, like he's putting out new art. He's starting to break new artists. He's big enough now, like he's got his album coming out. He's starting to evolve as like a A&R type person as opposed to just a solo artist. So
then we have Dr. White.
I wouldn't trust Gucci to be my doctor.
No, me neither. It has medicine on it again. Also a song called I Love My Plug. That's good.
We need to talk about this cover art. This does not seem like a very credible office.
What makes
I guess it depends on what you're looking for out of your office. But yeah, we got Arm & Hammer. We have a lot of credible, very suspect powder. He's wearing a lab. Well, it's not a lab. I don't know if it's a lab coat or a bathrobe. I assume he's supposed to be Dr. White. The font is amazing. Is Cream him going over the boobie? Is Cream him going over the...
No. Don't ask. It's not.
Okay.
Why do we even have expectations still?
Damn it. You hate that I have expectations. Yeah, that's Pretty Girls with Wale, which I like more than I should, but whatever. I'm sure he'll rehash that 100 times. Yeah, this is funny cover art, but
the tape is...
It has Culinary Art School, which I thought was an OJ song. art school. Culinary art school. This is no fucking art school. I guess not.
Then you got the Burrprint.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
A quality mixtape emerging in the wilderness.
I love when Caleb realizes one he heard.
Well, no, it's just like I can't offer much on the last like 4 that we've done, but I can offer stuff on this one. This was a sick tape. I listened to this a lot. Like
I can offer a weird thing that you wouldn't think of is that Candy on this is one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which I've had to watch a lot of lately because my wife is into that show, so I actually know who that is.
Oh my god, it's that deep cut knowledge.
Yeah, I did not know that. How is Candy on that show?
She's one of the few tolerable ones. And I think Rick Ross shows up on the very first season. He's not famous enough, so they don't even like give him like a fucking chyron or anything. He's just in the background looking hungry. Watch Cost of Bentley has Bun. I should probably listen to that because I like all the Bun B Gucci stuff. Obviously, It's Going Up is our unofficial anthem. So yeah, I apparently liked this enough to give it an 8 and have not listened to it since. So
the Burrprint is like there's so many amazing songs. My Shadow, Dope Boys. Yeah.
I think that Frowny Face was probably my favorite, if I recall. Frowny Face.
Oh my god, yeah, that's amazing. And
Candy My Jane remix at the very end, I guess.
The Candy Lady remix is great. Trap Going Crazy slaps so hard. That's a classic for a reason. Like, if there's another mixtape of his that should be bolded, it should probably be the Burrprint, the movie 3D.
I mean, I'd argue Mr. Zone 6, but we'll get there.
Oh, yeah, that as well.
Yeah, I would say both, personally. I think both have a significant case either way. This is an all-timer drama performance too.
Yeah. Especially
from this era. This is like peak the era of drama when he began to dominate for these next few years, and he shows up big on this. The last track, the Zaytoven track, My Chain. That's one of my favorite songs.
That's a remix of the original My Chain with just a bunch of dudes on it?
It's a posse cut, essentially.
Yeah.
Also, someone on that song says Young Jermaine and My Diamonds on Gangbang.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Your bitch call me daddy. When I fuck her, it's like incest.
Again, subtlety not really going to be there.
No. Well, really.
I woke up this morning and looked in the mirror.
Gosh.
That's what
myself. That's my setting.
that's what people do.
Gucci really had the original "Made in the Image of God." That's a selfie. That's a whatever. It's whatever that Jay-Z bar is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Every single Gucci verse is better than Jay-Z on Jail. I don't care. Medicine is better than Jay-Z on Jail. So.
The features are better than Jay-Z on Jail.
Every Young Ralph verse is better than Jay-Z on Jail. Candy from Real Housewives is better than Jay-Z on Jail.
The Mario feature on the Gooch is better than Jay-Z on Jail.
Break Up is better than Jay-Z on Jail.
All right. Where did we left off? I think we're at the Cold War now, right?
Yeah, we're back in the Cold War in so many ways.
So icy, man.
Shout out to a friend of the show, Aaron, previous guest Aaron, who was talking. We were talking about a friend of the show, your old Droog, and his next tape he's probably calling himself Vladimir Putin.
Damn.
Flames. Yeah, I see that happening. But yeah, we're now joining the Cold War, and a friend of the show, Diplo, was involved with this as well. So
kinda,
yeah, and he got his fucking piece. He had to see. He saw something other people were enjoying and had to make some money off of it.
He doesn't even remember that he did this.
But yeah, so we went to Russia.
And
Gucci America.
Yeah. Let me put it like this. On a Russia. No. Party Animal and I Am Legend are kind of fun. There's a song with Waka Flocka Flame and Rocco that's kind of cool, but that's it. Great Burrprint. It's also okay. There's a Juvenile feature on here and a Jim Jones feature. Those are kind of cool. Also, just like Gucci having a song called I'm Expecting with that figure at the time. It's just like
That was a recurring joke about Gucci on the smoking section forum, is that he was, in fact, expecting he's going to pop out a little Gucci clone. He's working with Sean Garrett a lot. Not crazy about that. Killer Mike showing up here with Drake, which is a choice.
On Gucci America? Yeah.
Drake showing up twice. Again, Real Housewife Candy on Gucci Bitch. Just this is a weird one I might revisit because it's just so weird. But I don't need to hear Drake and Sean Garrett on a song. I just don't, man. Life's too short. Moving on.
For some reason, the audio quality completely drops out during Drake's verse on Street Cred.
I mean, generally the audio quality drops out on Drake. Never mind.
Trap Mansion got Snow Edition. I'm not even sure if this is actually really real. All Things White, same. Apparently this exists, and I want to hear that wasted remix with Lil Wayne, Birdman, and Jadakiss. Hey, we still wait. Yeah, All Things White is the last one before the big album.
So wait. Well, we went through all three of the pieces of the Cold War. So now, we are The State versus Roderick Davis.
Classic.
Yeah.
I gave this a 5 at first. I'm a fucking moron. Like, Patrick was wrong a lot of times. And this is one of those times. This is a really fucking good album. This is the debut album Gucci deserves.
Yeah.
He raps over opera in double time on the first track.
And it's amazing.
It's so good.
Awesome.
It's so good. I love Cam showing up here.
Gucci and Cam on a track is like the torch passing.
That's so, it's stupid wild. That's his style. That's perfect.
And the song is stupid wild.
And Bingo with Soulja Boy, tools on deck. I ain't talking Home Depot. That might be the first time Soulja Boy came up with a clever rhyme.
And the weirdest part is that beat was produced by Scott Storch. What?
This album gives you everything you could possibly want from a Gucci album on a major label. I think you get an opulent Rick Ross track, you get dumb skits with mic apps that no one wants, but you're going to get dumb skits. I think that's just part and parcel. You get an OJ collab, that's great. You get a Wasted remix. Well, no, Jada shows up on this Wasted remix. Actually, and Birdman rubs his hands together. I don't really remember it actually, but apparently this issue has Jada on it. I don't remember Jada on Wasted.
Me neither.
I remember Wayne on Wasted, obviously, because it's on. That's on No Ceilings.
Then there's this.
"Kush Is My Cologne" is a legendary weed song. I still can't believe they did not get Currency on this, but that's a great weed song.
But you got Devin the Dude on it, so it's cool.
"Kush Is My Cologne. I have so many fragrances." I love when he stops. He's like, "No, I'm smoking weed." It's like, oh, we did not know what this song was. Just stop.
There's
also one of the first of a few Gucci tracks with E40. Notable developments.
Right. Yeah, I thought this was the first one, but as we established early in the episode, they were working together before this. E40, another regional weirdo who just developed talent and recognized talent. So not surprising they worked together. I don't have any recollection of the Usher through Keisha Cole section of this album. Probably.
Oh my God, the Usher song is actually kind of nice. Because that is just a really comfy and nice beat. Usher sounds good, and Gucci is actually kind of trying on that one.
I'll take your word for it. Worst Enemy is a very honest song out of Gucci, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that was like, it's kind of insulting that they follow it with the final Toilet Bowl Shorty interview, which kind of takes a little bit of the steam out of him being super honest about his career and his choices. And then it's like one more dumb Mike Epps, like toilet humor thing followed by the Wasted remix, which I remember the Wayne verse. I don't remember the Jada part. And I'm sure Birdman like rubbed his hands together and got paid. Honestly, the edition of this I remember ends with Worst Enemy. I don't remember the last two tracks being on the one I heard. So,
and for some reason we haven't mentioned it yet, but this is the album with Lemonade.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good song. That might. Oh yeah, it's one of the best songs ever.
Yeah,
with the V cut. Like that's iconic, perfect fucking song.
That's like maybe the best use of like a cutesy hook that we've ever had. Like
Lemonade the chain with the V cut.
That hook could go so wrong in most people's hands, but it's perfect on this.
That's just a testament to Gucci's charisma that he pulls that off effortlessly.
And also, like, you know why this song is called Lemonade? You don't want to know why the song
on his neck, so it's like he's selling lemonade.
Nah. The day he made that song, like, Bangladesh showed him the beat, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm gonna make a song on this." And he went to mix his lean, and Bangladesh did not have any Sprite, so Bangladesh offered him Fanta, and he got inspired.
That is the most Gucci story ever. Like that would just literally, that's like, yeah, I'm not going to do a Gucci voice. That would be offensive. But yeah, that tracks entirely. Shout out to Smokey Robinson, the Currency tape, where he has Lemon Kush has a really good verse with him doing a remix on this. Very few people have done this beat justice, but I think Currency does this beat justice. So, but no one does better on this than Gucci. No one. Like, this is his song. So, yeah, this album's great. It's the perfect use of Gooch. Like, this is the major label debut he deserved.
Absolutely. And so we're back into mixtape territory.
Unfortunately.
It's mixtape o'clock. And the next tape we have is the King of Diamonds. I listened to this. I know I listened to this, but there's a song on here called "A Hoe Gon' Be a Hoe," and I'm just gonna skip the next one.
Okay, yeah, we all
Mm.
Probably a good decision.
Yeah, we all agree.
Then there's a tape that you don't have to.
I will say, King of Diamonds has outstanding cover art.
If you think that's outstanding, wait for
Gucci of Thrones on that, essentially. Barack Obama, though, we're going to ignore Barack Obama.
Amazing.
It has a song with Game and Timbaland.
I'm still, if there are any graphic design is your passion listeners of this podcast, I really want the Gucci Obama style poster. Please
make that.
If we ever have a Patreon or whatever, don't donate to that. Just send me a poster of Gucci as Obama where it says Burr instead of Hope. That's what I want. I want my daughter to wake up looking at that for inspiration. So, I'm sure this tape is trash. Even though I give 3 stars.
Shout out.
3 stars. Apparently I listened to all of. What the fuck? When did I listen to this? Apparently 2 years ago.
Shout out this guy called Question. He is on the one song I remember called "That Boy Bad," and we're just gonna keep on moving.
Yeah, we got
Diplo presents Free Gucci. No,
absolutely not. Next,
Gooch Somnia, Addicted to Gucci. This is funny. This one is funny because the first 4 or 5 songs are like typical Gucci trap affair, and then it's just R&B songs.
Which is what we all really wanted, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know. This is weird.
The cover art's amazing, by the way. He's been locked up because he's suffering from Goochsomnia.
Yeah, addicted.
Straitjacketed, and he's in the insane ward.
And presented by Music Fiend and a Cartoon Network. Beautiful.
I wonder what the calendar probably has a bunch of, like, the dates are probably all like October 31st on this calendar.
This is also a great mixtape.
Oh, it's the 1017 Brick Squad calendar. I can't. There's an ass on his wall, and it also has a South Park chain and another doll. It's the Odie chain. The Odie chain is back.
The Odie chain and the Iced Out bar.
The Odie chain is back. Okay, that's all I got. Continue.
This is just another. I just want to mention this is another one of those mixtapes where you just got to shout out all these people that no one knows, like
Wild Money,
just King Rich South. Gates. Okay, I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be mean. Like, who the fuck remembers Mano?
Just Rich Gates. I think you just said his name. Black. Young Sneed is back in the house.
Young Sneed.
K Swag, King South. No. And there's a song on here, Mikasa Sukasa, is Waka, Shorty Low, Yo Gotti, and Nicki Minaj, and that's the one song you need to listen to.
Another Cam and Gucci track. That's and Bot. I think that probably shows up on one of the Boss of All Bosses. Actually, it's Cameron and Botto. I'm sure it's on one of the Boss of All Bosses, which is probably way better than this. Because, yeah, the cover art's amazing. Don't get Goochsomnia. Don't get locked up.
Then you got the Burrprint 2 HD.
Holiday season
could have been really good, but has weird amounts of skits of people calling Gucci or like Yo Gotti speaks. DJ Khaled speaks.
I mean, DJ Khaled does nothing but that. We wish he would dial that back. They could not get Fat Joe, apparently, like, for some reason.
No,
but they got Lil Kim.
They got Alley Boy for 10 seconds.
Yeah, there's some good tracks on here though. Like, there's stuff worth hunting down on here. But overall, the project, it's too long. There's too much crap.
The songs that Shive produced are really good. Like Shining for No Apparent Reason is good, and Do This Shit Again is good. I like
No Apparent Reason. It's just a great title, by the
way. Also, for some reason, you got Ludacris talking about crack on Atlanta Zoo.
Atlanta Zoo goes a little overboard with the dumb animal puns, but I really like that song. Like, that's a fun song.
And you gotta respect any tape that puts on a 9-minute long song called Coca featuring Yo Gotti, Nicki Minaj, OJ the Juice Man, Rocco, Shawty Low, and Waka Flocka.
That song is tough. I mean, that song goes on forever, and Rocco's not good on it, but like, it's mostly really tough. Nicki's great on that. That's they spell Trey Songz wrong. They spell Trey Songz name wrong, by which I mean right, but wrong by his definition. Jim Jones shows up again. I think Coca is the best song on here. Atlanta Zoo's fun. In the wrong mood, it's corny. This would be really good at a reasonable length without all the dumb shit on it, is what I'll say. Like, if you cut this down to its best songs and get rid of all the skits, it's good. But it was 2010. It was a mixtape. They didn't do that. And it's like 80 minutes.
Yeah. Then you got actually another classic, Mr. Zone 6.
Yes, I love this fucking mixtape. This is so good. This is so good.
Amazing. Oh my god. Like, normal, Georgia's Most Wanted, Stove Music, Cowards and Soldiers, Rooftop.
And every time you click on our podcast on Spotify, just so you know, our asking price, it's going up.
Yes.
So.
Price going up.
God, there's so many classic songs on here. It's insane.
Fucking long. The dumbest joke. I've been sitting on this for weeks, as I can't stop thinking about this. Is The doctors say Gucci Man got long COVID. That's what the doctors say. Gucci Man. I know.
That was sitting there though. You had to do it.
I really had to. But that beat, by the way, the Long Money beat with that money machine thing is so fucking good. Yeah, I love this fucking album. I think it's going up. The title track, Long Money, Socialite, and You Know What It Is are all some of his best songs, period. But there's no bad song on here. This is nonstop heat for the exact perfect length of a Gucci tape.
Yeah, and it's like also like one of his most like classically rap projects overall, which is funny. Like this is the tape that also like all the people who are like Gucci can't rap point to us and be like, yeah, this is kind of nice for a reason.
Right, like he's definitely not like he is not slurring so much on this. The beats are easy for him to rap over. They're tough. They're like, it's ignorant rapping, but in a way that people can, like, you know, your average internet RYM nerd can appreciate. They can be like, all right, this might not be the sort of thing that I'm really into, but he's doing it well. Yeah. That sort of rapping.
Yeah. It's very easy, like RYM backhanded compliment fodder. That's like that's fair, but it legitimately is a sick tape. I mean, Patrick mentioned it's going up, but like that's like one of the best songs of this era,
produced by Rich.
Yeah, like of any mixtape from this era, not even just limiting to Gucci, but it's a perfect marriage. Like there's not enough. There weren't enough Bun B features around this time on Gucci projects. So I was surprised going back and looking through some of the credits that there weren't more of them.
Right. Somebody who got a reputation for taking every feature.
Yeah. And also always fucking with like the people that were coming up. Not saying that he didn't fuck with Gucci, because obviously he did. But I just mean, it kind of surprised me that we didn't get a lot of Bun B. I mean, what was it? The Radric Davis had one. This tape had one. I'm scrambling to think of.
I'm sure like there was one on one of the don'ts before that.
Yeah, probably. But this is one of the best Gucci tapes. And a
testament to how good Drama is, like as a presence, both. Like I think that when he comes in, like Zone 6 shining when it's going up, like he's a really good like hype presence. The way he sequences stuff, just like that's the difference between him and like how the day season, just like yelling that and like repeating shit. Like there's a difference between a bad DJ and a good DJ. And if you listen to like Burrprint 2 and like Drama or Holiday just like being an asshole and not shutting up, and Mr. Zone 6 and Drama just being like a good host and knowing when to interject, you can see the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what's the next one? Jewelry selection, huh?
Didn't listen to it. Buy the jewelry. Oh, wait, there are two songs on here worth talking about for different reasons. There is Poltergeist with Talib Kweli, which I think was, shout out to Talib for doing this. You know, we don't make very many shout outs to Talib Kweli on this podcast because fuck Talib Kweli. But for him doing that was cool. Like, I think that was like a real cool, like cross genre. Like, I'm going to respect this dude for doing what he does. And Gucci fucking kills that song over that dark ass beat. That's a great song. And Talib's great on that too.
Yeah.
Gucci Time is trash. Gucci Time is terrible. Gucci Time is one of the worst songs ever made. It's exactly the thought that went into Gucci Time is that this guy's name is Gucci and this other guy says Showtime. So we're going to call it Gucci Time. That is the exact amount of fucking thought that went into Gucci Time. Fuck Gucci Time.
And it samples goddamn justice.
Fuck Gucci Time, man. I got nothing else on that, man. Fuck you, Swiss Beats. Let DMX rest. Fucking vulture. Fucking garbage ass human.
Then we have Ferrari music. Yeah. It has a no hands Waka Flocka no hands remix with with Wale on it. It wasn't Wale.
I have not heard that. I would like to hear that. Gucci's probably really fun on that. I've been pretty clear about that in the past, where at first I was like, I liked it for the Wale part, and in retrospect, I like it in spite of the Wale part. I don't like that it's a song where Wale apologizes for the song. I think that's pretty lame. But I've not listened. Oh wait, he's on a Speaking in Tongues remix. That's interesting too. Oh god, he's on a Deuces remix. That's less interesting. And they kept Tyga.
There were a couple Deuces remixes.
Yeah, true. I mean, that was remixed by everybody at that time. I don't know why we need to keep Tyga around. Regardless, let's spay and neuter that motherfucker. But yeah.
God damn it. Yep. Let's move on. Buy my album.
I love this mixtape art. Yeah. It's one of my favorite mixtape arts of all time.
Same, actually.
So good.
There's a paper cutout of Gucci Mane pointing at his clock saying Gucci time, and that's the only good thing coming out of that song.
That is true. If nobody gets the reference here, and Sophia's like 15 years old, so she probably doesn't, and Caleb's like 17 years old, so he probably doesn't. There was this show called The Critic, where the character Jay Sherman had a cutout where it was in a bookstore where it just kept going, buy my book, and it kept saying it over and over. That is whatever DJ that made this was referencing that. And I guarantee you Gucci didn't know that. No one knows that, but they decided that would be a good mixtape cover. And that's the funniest thing to me ever.
And it's a good mixtape cover.
Buy my album. Burr. Buy my album. Burr. Buy my album. This seems like it's a mixtape no one needs to hear.
Yeah, and then we got The Appeal.
This is an interesting album.
That's nicely said.
It's got a lot going on. I don't hate this album. It's interesting.
So you're not sipping that haterade?
No.
Oh wait. Oh, you said The Appeal. I thought you meant Cage Bird Sings. Oh no, this album sucks. Fuck this album. This album's I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Radric Davis 2, The Cage Bird Sings. This album's fucking trash.
There's like good.
Weirdo's good.
There's like a good Zaytoven song on here. There's a good Justice League song, but that's kind of it.
Yeah, Weirdo's good. Making Love to the Money's good, but that's on Mr. Zone 6. This is fucking garbage. Fuck this. Oh, there's a second Swiss song on here I forgot about called It's Alive. I wish it was dead. Why do they keep putting Estelle on these fucking songs, man? Like, I mean, I like Estelle, but
no.
For
some reason,
let's just move on. Fuck this.
Wait, no, Lil Friend is a good song. Lil Friend is a decent opener. That's it.
Yeah, it's got fun on it. I forgot about that. This is what. Okay, so everything that The State versus Radric Davis did right, this does wrong.
This is also like basically one of the albums that Gucci haters think of when they think of Gucci. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Warner Bros. Completely mismanaged that shit.
It really misunderstands what's appealing about Gucci.
Ha. Get it?
Why is there a Swizz song followed by a Wyclef Jean song? Why?
Wyclef Jean sounds like he's dying on that song.
Why did you give this 2.5 stars? What the... Come on, man.
Because I'm a nice person, Patrick.
You're not, like, this is the equivalent of Ryan talking to you as an album.
Shout out, Ryan.
Put that on your bingo card. I made a Ryan reference. Nobody gets.
Gucci 2-time. Gucci 2-time.
Better than, I haven't listened to it. It's probably better than The Appeal.
It is. It's complete comfort food. For some reason, there's Wiz Khalifa is on here. YG Hootie, Papa Smurf, Ice
Papa Smurf.
You gotta have a Papa Smurf feature. Why wouldn't you do it?
Wait,
Slim Duncan.
This is another good.
Rest in peace, Slim Duncan.
Rest in peace, Slim Duncan.
The hologram is coming out of his chain. This is a good cover art, guys. Come on.
It is.
That is true. I was only looking forward to talking about Gucci 2-time because of the cover art, so I do have to respect that. I think I downloaded it, but I do not remember listening to it.
That's the tape where Gucci tells you should only call him Gucci 2-time now, and then no one did.
Sometimes he does that. Like, I think it was I'm Up. It was either I'm Up or Trap God, where he said we call him Gucci Guap, and I'm like, no one's going to do that. and everyone did it. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Valentine's Day is decent. That's it. Sinden presents Free Gucci 2, The Bird. Nope. Writing
finish. I love when it's so bad. Oh wait, the first one is a Gucci Time remix with Tinchy Stride. No, nope. Anyway, no, I'm not even gonna finish. Continue.
Hey, Getz is on here.
Writing on the Wall too. Holiday seat. No.
It's decent. If you like the first Writing on the Wall, you're gonna like this.
Well, if you're ever itching for a Yellow Wolf and Gucci track, you got one. And more Jagged Edge and Gucci, by the way. I guess that's a remix, though. I guess the original, I believe.
Also, we sadly we forgot an album along the way. The Return of Mr. Zone 6. That's basically.
Oh yeah. I guess chronologically, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically a Gucci Mane and Drummer Boy album.
Which actually sounds pretty. I like the verbiage of "Mouthful of Golds" featuring Birdman, because I feel like that was somebody heard what Birdman said and just verbatim put it into the title, because you can't understand what the fuck Birdman's talking about. I like that there's a rapper called Chill Will, because I think it's named after the penguin. I think I made that joke. Master P. Pretty Women with Wale is one of the worst Gucci songs. Fuck that song. It's horrible. You got a few Waka features on here, probably pretty cool. 3.
Yeah, they are. 24 Hours is like the solo cut classic from this album.
I gave it a 7. I must have liked it.
I'm up for 24 hours. Need to shit, shave, and shower.
I mean, shout outs for decent hygiene.
Yeah, hey, you know.
It's like that 21 Savage verse about where he talks about that he stands up when he pisses.
Yeah, right. You know.
Good for you, 21 Savage.
The song I remember from this is What I Do. I remember really liking that song.
That's on Mr. Zone 6 too.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of the, once again, we're
what I do.
We're recycling a little bit, but
a little bit.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna recycle, why the fuck Pretty Women? Like, we did Pretty Girls, now we do Pretty Women. We're gonna do Pretty Grandmas next. I mean, Wale has not fucking been a fan base he won't pander to.
Yeah.
So
it's a self-aware song title, the Master P song, because that's, you know, Master P's business model was all about saying how much he could back the Brinks truck up at the expense of his artists.
So. We have Master P and Birdman on the same album. That's
the same album.
That's an accomplishment of some sort. I mean, could we have gotten Big Cat on there? We'd have gotten bingo.
Yeah, but that's basically about it for this one.
So, are we reaching the end of our journey for part 1, which I believe was Ferrari Boyz, or are we? Oh no, we're not even close.
Not quite. The next one is quite interesting because it's the tape where Gucci pushed Future, called Free Bricks.
Free Bricks. Okay, Free Bricks is good.
Yeah, it is.
It's right around when Dirty Sprite 1 came out.
Yeah, this is like, actually, this tape is one of the reasons why Future had like such an easy rise very early on, because like at that time Gucci was like such a hot commodity. Like him doing a full tape with this no-name artist, that would boost your name. Except if you're someone we will talk about quite in a few minutes.
Yeah, this one, I didn't rate it, but I mean, it's excellent. I've listened to it. It's excellent. This is, again, with Waka now, with Young Thug later, with, you know, Young Dolph, rest in peace, later, with a lot of artists. Like, Gucci just always had his ear to what was good. Yeah. Except for one time.
That we will talk about shortly.
Next week.
That's still before Trap Back.
No, I thought we were going to end on Ferrari Boyz.
Are we going to end on Ferrari Boyz? Okay. Then
end on Ferrari Boyz, so next week we can start off talking about the one time Gucci's ear failed him. Let's put it that way.
Because, there's just, okay. Ferrari Boyz,
But no, I mean, we can talk about Free Bricks real quick, I guess, if anybody has any, like, I don't really remember it very well. But
I think it's like pretty solid. It kind of, it
How
kind
does
of
it sound
sounds
like versus later Future work?
there are at least like a couple songs that don't have Future on it, so it's not like a full collab.
It's like 6 songs have them.
Yeah, it's really it's like half the tape that doesn't. Like I just think it's a lack of Future on the tape. But there's the song with 2 Chainz is a good song. That's like an early collab in terms of like 2010s between those two. I also like Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
That's probably one of the best ones on here. The last couple I don't remember because I don't remember Future being on them. So I think they were just like kind of your average, like, solid move along Gucci songs from this era. But like, there's an interesting point brought up in, I think it's an Odema review, where they talk about how a lot of Gucci mixtapes around this time kind of like appear out of thin air, like they just like materialize, and then they kind of they're just there. You don't realize they came out, and then months later, it's like, oh, we had another 1017 album come out around this time. I felt like that was kind of a theme as we go forward into like the mid 2010s, where in the moment, I'm not sure that all those like Gucci tapes, even the good ones, were like really recognized properly because there was so much music that stuff like Trap Back or Future stuff like the Trap God series, it might have been covered briefly in like, certain
like even RYM circles.
Yeah,
like,
certain like rap blogs, maybe like
circles, like section, maybe Whites or something, but not like on the whole. And it was forgotten even in those.
And then people
afterwards.
Right, but people could go back now and be like, there's some real quality stuff on there. And like, I don't blame necessarily like those tapes for being forgotten because there's so much, 10 Gucci Mane music and 1017 music. But it is kind of interesting that like that kind of spun a thought in my brain about how when you're dropping so much content, there's kind of a threshold for what gets picked up and what doesn't.
Especially people just get numb to hearing your voice so much, I guess.
Right.
And if you're numb to hearing your voice, then you're probably going to be grateful to hear that we're only going to talk about one more album, which is if you've listened to this show, you probably know that we are very fond of a certain song, Get Out My Lane.
Get Out My Lane.
You see the chain and watch them boys. Yeah.
What an iconic music video also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm not going to sing all of it. But, okay. So the criticism of this album when it came out, essentially, was that Gucci put out way too much stuff and he was burnt out and he sounds burnt out on it versus Waka sounded way more invested.
Yeah, but that makes the album just so much more magical. Because it just elevates it just kind of elevates their whole chemistry, because Gucci is so done and Waka is so hungry, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it makes it work, but I think it also makes certain songs stand out over others. Like I can see where it's like if you waited for this album to happen for so long, I could see being a little disappointed in it. It's an album that I thought was underwhelming at the time, but it's grown on me a bit over time.
Yeah. I mean, the obvious classics on this tape, on this album, are Ferrari Boys, 15th and the 1st, and Suicide Homicide. Those are some songs that definitely someone got killed to at some point.
That's a really weird endorsement, but I understand. Yeah.
Like if you listen to those songs, that's like that's legit some shit that you put on before you kill someone. Pac-Man is fun. Feed Me is fun. Mud Music is fun. For some reason, Ice Burgundy is on here again. Like, that guy also must have had some great weed. Yeah.
I feel like this kind of represents a turning point. Like, I feel like this is where we're going to kind of land the plane for this episode, because I feel like it's a bit of this is where everybody was asking for this album out of Gucci, and he dropped it, and it just felt underwhelming. And I feel like Gucci felt burnt out, but there was a second act coming, and there was a third act coming after that second act. Like, this was a dude with inexhaustible artistic resources. that people didn't know. And right now, people thought he was washed. They listened to this album. What they got out of it was he's washed. Waka's up next. And that wasn't really the case.
Not at all.
So, but I can listen to this with fresh ears and even enjoy the Gucci performance. Like, he's still even sounding tired, sounding exhausted. There's stuff to enjoy in Gucci's performance here. Like, even when he sounds like he's falling asleep in the studio, he still has punchlines.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe too many Slim Duncan features, but that's that's a different discussion, I guess.
I think he was just trying to break an artist there. Like, that's...
Yeah. The 2 Chainz collab is one of the best songs on here, too.
That's
Yeah,
my
honestly,
right?
like, I think I was too hard on this album for a long time. I think I had high expectations for it at the time, and now with like a few years hindsight, just knowing where the artist went, I enjoy it more. I don't think it's Gucci's best work, but Waka, certainly aside from Flocka, hasn't done much else. It's probably like the second best Waka album.
That's a
Even
great...
more than the PlayStation 2 mixtape cover art one, the Do Flocka, right?
Do Flocka rant. Well, there were several Do Flocka rants. Like, as much as there are many Wilt Chamberlains, there were also a bunch of Do Flocka rants.
Flocka rants, yeah.
And also LeBron Flocka James.
But true. Very true. Very true.
Before this becomes just a bunch of other rapper, basketball player mixtape covers, I think we're just going to have to cut this one off. It's been about 3 hours. But, Sophia, we will have you again to talk about the second half of Gucci's career. I don't know if it's
which starts with hell. Which starts with absolute hell.
It starts with something. I'll put it that way. It starts with, we're going to have a discussion about somebody. I don't want to give too much away, but normally I end with a question, but I'm just going to leave our audience hanging. But all I'm going to say is we're going to the Bay. When we come back, we're going to be in the Bay. So, Sophia, thank you. Caleb, as always, it's been a pleasure. And our intro music is the Borrowed Time instrumental from Billy Woods by Yoon Classic. And our outro music, as always, is Stagnated Pace by Cankick. This has been Living Off Borrowed Time, and we'll see you next time. Burr. Peace.
It ain't gonna never stop. 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 It ain't gonna never stop.
Time will tell. Time is yet to be conquered by man. But when the time is right, perhaps the greatest revelation of all time will dawn upon us.